Comics Tuesday is fucking Tuesday. We got Lay in the building. We got Cap in the building. Cabs can't make it tonight, but he's here in spirit. On Lay.
My man, just chilling, brother, chilling.
What's up, Cap? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Is that and the father goes shamefully? That's my son. And the other guy goes shamefully. Orion goes, that's my father. Choose fear and hate to run your life. Something you can't do. That was wrong with me from the beginning. I was doing it that way. I was gonna go down that path. I worried.
You thought it was Grayson?
Sorry, got hurt. Like, not him. Not him.
Crack his brain for somebody, anybody that can help, and remembers. Freeze.
The media.
No,
Randall Savage. With his knowledge and all other shit and his capacity to learn.
Absolutely.
This is the only vegan I'll ever eat is grilled chicken wings, because that's like vegan to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the chicken wings are supposed to be fried, but you grill the chicken wings, you put it in some sauce, and give it some blue cheese.
Is vegan.
That's vegan. Like regular moo cow fuck milk, put it in some Honey Nut Cheerios, vegan, because Honey Nut Cheerios is good for your heart. You know what I'm saying? Can I steal the question from Cabs?
I got it right. Look at this.
I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal.
You're too late.
Wow.
I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype, I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like, yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right, and I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow, yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Here I go, I get lit, I get hyped for this shit! That's right.
Word. He be like, I got a left elbow and a right elbow. I can break your face with any elbow. Make sure that you get elbowed in your elbow with an elbow. Got the arm ball, get the phone ball, get around with the bomb with the bomb ball.
Daddy's gonna take you to Jersey Shore.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It is the Knucklehead Comics. We got blue lightsabers, orange lightsabers, blue lifesavers, and a Beetle. We ain't fucking around. We're not talking about them lantern shits that's flying around. Kill those motherfuckers when you see them. But we got the one that will save your life. Blue Beetle. And Ashoka Tana episode 1 and 2. But before we get to that, we got Ray in the building. And we got Cap. Cord is alive. And yeah, right. And yours truly, toe tags. And I know Cap got a question today, but before we do that shit, Ray, you saw episode 1 and 2 in Blue Beetle? You stayed for the extra scenes? Did you tip your waitress on the way out?
There was no waitress.
Oh, this fucking guy. He snuck out of the building. This fucking guy.
Wow. Who was I supposed to tip? The fucking concession stand? Like, yo, good job on the popcorn. Here you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Stupid idiot!
My man Ray saw the movie and said,
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Jesus.
Yeah, box office numbers also said that, but
yo,
we'll get into it when we get there.
Word. I know me and Cap saw episode 1 and 2, and we saw the movie. But before we get into our reviews, Cap, what's your question of the day?
All right. Question of the day is, to you guys personally, what makes a good, compelling villain? I don't want to hear the cookie cutter bullshit. For you personally, what do you like to see that will make a good, compelling villain? And if you want me to go first to give you guys time to think, I can do that.
Yeah, because I got to think about it for a bit. Because, yeah.
I mean, I kind of got my answer, but
If you want to go ahead. As you mess around with your bike pedals.
now I'm trying to figure out why my fucking table was sticky. But yeah, so
Hey, what were you doing that they're sticky, bro?
no, but for me, just straight out like crazy. Like when a villain is confident and doesn't give a shit about nothing, but isn't a coward, like Bolo. That motherfucker's that's why I kill all of you motherfuckers. It takes a special person to fuck me up. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking Shogun. Shonuff, the Shogun of Harlem, Last Dragon. That motherfucker, I'm the meanest. And he ain't running. He ain't scared. Everyone come at me, please. Come see this. The ones that go, if you don't talk, I'm shooting him in the head. Bow. Let's try this again. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that are not afraid to be them. I hate that villain that's like scared of shit. Like at the end, like they talk a big game and they wait a minute, wait, Mr. Nuff. No, don't shoot me. We can make money. You can do this. And I just want to live. No, fuck that. You gotta kill me, motherfucker.
Is that why you like Jason Momoa so much and Fast and Furious?
Yeah. Like the fucking dude from Four Brothers. Like he was a ruthless motherfucker. I would never back him, but he was a ruthless motherfucker.
Yeah, but that's what you kind of want. You want that's like, that's just it. There's no fucking little sympathy.
Yeah.
Like that's how it should be. A villain should have that. It's like, yo, there's nothing that's like, you know what? I kind of feel bad, or you know what? He kind of makes sense. Like every villain should be like High Evolutionary was in Guardians. That's just like, yo, this is just a fucking psychotic motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
when
just
you
someone where there's nothing there.
Yeah, when you sit there and you got me going, oh, this nigga's menacing. Like this motherfucker really means like, oh, don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we got ourselves a good villain here.
Yeah. That to me is a good villain. Like when you're something where it's like, yo, you're just doing this to do it. Like this is your program here. It's not like you have a reason to do it. It's not like, you know what, maybe it makes sense. No, it's just you're doing this to be psychotic, and this is your MO. There's no convincing, there's nothing left. And there's one of those where, okay, I gotta kill you now because if not, you're gonna be horrible. Like there's somewhat saving. No. This is killed or be killed at that point. Like
my man made Bison
so much that he kicked himself out.
My man made Bisontopia. That's what I need. I need not for money, not for greed, not for power, but for you. like one of them motherfuckers.
Oh man.
Like, well, you acting psychotic now. No, but believe me, I'm the only one that can save you. Oh, look at this motherfucker. I found it. At the back of my earring. I got new earrings and I'm
you lost that so long ago. I remember
when I bought the new packs. I was like, yo, I lost one of the new ones. It was right here on my table.
How you?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to House Cleaning with Toe Tag and the boys. In today's lesson, we're going to teach you how to clean your desk so that you can find the back of your earrings.
Oh man!
Minimal tools required for this one.
Yep. Well, you know what? This is too funny. All right, first, gonna get some of these. Gonna get your Lysol wipes.
Yeah.
Shit, it's a laminated tabletop. It should be good.
Damn it, Mr. Loki. No, I don't have kids. Jesus. This is just gonna be the running joke now. I got a bunch of kids. Right? Oh, but where are these kids?
I don't know,
but they're great kids.
Only a man with kids has all these women on their podcast.
Nah, I can't say nothing. So why you trying to think of a comeback? Here's my answer to that question.
Yeah.
For me, what makes a compelling villain is twofold. One, they have to have some aspect of what they're doing or who they are that I kind of agree with. If you can give me a villain that has something with them that I'm kind of like, you know what? I see that point of view. That compels me to him. But the most important thing coming out of that part 2 is they're still the fucking bad guy.
Yeah.
If you could still be the bad guy and make me go, I'm never gonna join you, but I'm not disagreeing with you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I see where you're going. Almost like I don't want to say Thanos because
I feel like that's the best answer though, because it's like Thanos
to be
was
completely honest, he could have done a myriad of other things to get his message of the fact that the universe and beings are too greedy and that we're devouring ourselves and that needs to be fixed. That I can agree with that.
Yeah.
The fact that he's still a bad guy, still, all the way through, I can agree with that. Which, you know what? I guess this is a good.
Yeah, it's Thanos is perfect because
but his logic was flawed though.
No, that's the thing.
Because the thing is like after what they said, like another 50 years, another 80 years, we were right back to the same population and consuming the same shit.
Well, I mean that's if you put it in real life terms, but we're not. This is comic book movies.
Yeah,
but
we're talking about how it would be there. Like for so that, Doom, we would have peace.
Doom is the guy that I bring up the most because Doom is 100% without a doubt a villain.
Yeah.
But he's also probably the best leader if you had to band together to get a group of people to do some shit. He's probably the person you would really want on your side. Whereas, so like Doom, I can get behind, I can have him as somebody that I like in a comic, knowing he's a bad guy because he, meets my 2 requirements. Whereas the Joker is just like, I don't see how anybody likes the Joker with all the shit he's done. Doom has never did anything close to what the Joker has done. Doom's still a villain.
I think the reason
a fucking foot beyond the fucking line of decency and then ran like Usain Bolt as far away from that line on the other side.
I think the reason why
I don't know how people fucking clamor for him.
I think people like the Joker because the same reason why they like Andrew Tate and Trump and Alex Foley in the War Room or whatever the fuck his name is. It's because it's, even though he's a psychopath, and even though in some incarnations he's raping women and he's killing children and he's doing all this horrific shit, he says something that makes sense once in a while. Like he's on a TV show and goes, "Oh, you guys' minds are look. I kill one homeless man in the street, no one gives a shit. I kill a senator, all of you lose your minds." And it was like, "See, look, no one gives a shit about the homeless. He's right. Yeah, but let's not get over the fact he's actually killing these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
He actually kills these motherfuckers from time to time. And the reason why people are clamoring when he kills a congressman is because he's doing it on live TV. You kill the homeless man in the back of a fucking alley no one knew about. We have to take your word on that kill. We see this.
See, so that's the perfect thing, right? The Joker does all that shit, says one thing people, like you said, one thing people love his ass. But yet, I'm going to bring it back to Dr. Doom. He runs Latveria almost perfectly. All of his people love him. There are no problems in there. Like, he does not do anything outside of what he needs
unnecessary.
to. Yeah, unnecessary shit. But outside of himself, that requires depravity. But yet he's still the villain. Like, he never tries to be the hero.
Yeah.
Like, if you come into Latveria, he doesn't turn around and like, I'm the ruler of Latveria. Why are you not pompous and bowing? No, he's like, yo, you're in my place. You're not supposed to be here. Get the fuck out or you die. That's the kind of shit I like, which will tie into some of our reviews here. Where like like Vin keeps telling me to watch Jason Momoa because Jason Momoa played an excellent Joker.
That guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
He played the best Joker I've ever seen.
so that could be entertaining,
yeah.
right? But I think there's a difference, and I'll get to it when we do the review for Blue Beetle. But I think there's a difference between an entertaining villain and a really effective villain. And I'll explain what I mean when we get into the review.
Okay, because I yeah, there definitely is a thin line there, but with the Momoa thing, he almost threads that line also of like you kind of understand why he's the way he is, but it's also like you could have toned it down a little bit. That's like, nah, you're still a bad guy because like you did some fucked up shit. But it's like I kind of understand why, but you're still fucked up. Like, nah, yeah. So he definitely he made it like it was like, yeah, no, you're still the Joker, but you're fucked up.
I thought about this question. It was a little behind the scenes shit. I thought about this question because of the movie and the show that we're actually going to review.
Okay.
Help me out. But growing up, horror movies, you were supposed to be afraid of the bad guy.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be afraid of Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, Leatherface. And then somewhere along the line, it switched to now we watch to root for them.
Yeah. It's that point of almost it translates everywhere. That's like you kind of want to see the bad guy win sometime, just because it's like it just seeing how they portray themselves. It's almost like we do in wrestling. A lot of the times we're cheering heels. Like the heels are what attracts
thing. I couldn't understand bring up wrestling, the pay-per-view that just happened, All Out or All In. I couldn't understand why the crowd's cheering for MJF. I'm like, yo, who's the bad guy in this fucking match?
Yeah.
But to bring it back to the movie and shit, what we're doing is so like Michael Myers and Leatherface are my two favorite slashers, right? But it's not because I root for them. Like I just like their movies and the way they're captured. Not all the movies. I know some of the movies are bad, but for the good ones, they actually there's something about them that's like, yo, I don't think I could stop these guys. And if I was in this situation, what the fuck am I really gonna do? They're smart. Leatherface is smarter than you think. He's faster than you think. He's stronger than you think. Myers is smarter than you think. Then you go to what do you call it? Like those guys I like as just the pure villainy. There's nothing about them that I agree with. So I'm never truly on their side of shit.
Yeah.
But then you go to like Saw, which is one of my favorite franchises ever, and John Kramer. And you dig deep into what he's doing. And yeah, he's the bad guy. He's the villain. But he's giving people a choice to live like the message behind him. At certain points, you're like, you know what? I could see why you think certain people, if pushed in an extreme way, will get the message that you want them to get and actually make a change necessary. I was like, still, the method in which you're using is not something I'm going to subscribe to. I'm not going to start grabbing people off the street and like, you want to play a game? But
I mean, that is a good idea, though.
I could somewhat see why he's doing it, and there's a message in there that can actually resonate if it was taken out and put in a different context.
See, I get it, and sometimes like Jason and Michael Myers is almost cathartic. After a while, when you just like you see these new ones, they're just fucking walking around killing motherfuckers. It gets cathartic. You're just rooting for the dude because nowadays with the blip, the only thing our blip showed was people are fucking dicks. And no matter how much they want to stand outside their house with the pot and they bang the pot for the nurses because the nurses are risking their lives to save others and all this other shit, and they're like, we support you. But the first chance they got, they turn into dicks, they turn into assholes, and they turn into fucking monsters. and then you have to live with that whole shit where it's like, okay, I didn't get a chance to fucking be home and bang pots. I had to go to work, and no one recognizes that shit because my job isn't televised in a way that that they are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, so I never got this break. I still had to work. I had to risk my life to go through that shit. And then the first chance everybody got when everything went back to being normal, now you treated me like shit, like I'm inconveniencing you. Motherfucker, you just had a 3-month vacation, getting paid more than anybody else to stay the fuck home, and now you acting like a bitch. So when I see James, Michael Myers and Jason just running around chopping motherfuckers' heads off, it's like, you know something? We need a little bit of that.
That's it. That's the reason why, again, I have my view on villainy, because at no point, and I'll get into when we talk about Blue Beetle, I'll actually get into something, but at no point in watching the movie should I turn around and, I mean, everybody's different. You have your own
No,
view.
yeah.
That's cool. But I don't ever want to be like, you know what? We needed that. Give him my machete. My fucking neighbor parked too close too many goddamn times. Like,
Yo, facts.
You know what it is? I think it's one of those where I hate to have to again say, but it's like wrestling. It's almost, you get out of realism for a sec. You get to be in that fantasy world of just like, I don't want to actually do this, but
Yeah.
it's relaxing to see. Because it's like you can't just go around and close on the motherfucker. But you can watch this dude do it to this dude. And it's like,
not unless you double clothesline.
You gotta do the double clothesline. That's it. Only the double.
And you gotta scream it before you mean it.
That's.
Well, dude, come on.
Double clothesline.
If anybody's ever watched any anime, you scream all your moves. Shit, come on. Harry Potter
is my friend.
What the fuck's his expecto patronum?
That's the only thing I never understood about all that, because it's like, doesn't that give you the time to be like, oh, he's about to do that? All right, move out the way.
So for a lot of magic systems, there's 3 components to do a spell. You need a verbal component, somatic component, which is movement of some sort.
Yeah.
And then a material component,
which is the one.
Depending on which way you go, depending on which system you have, you either have somebody who does a whole bunch of bullshit, or you have a focus like a wand or some shit. But you still gotta say, for the most part, you still gotta say the spell. That's what makes magic different than having a superpower.
Lávate los manos.
Like, if you look at it, Shazam is magic. Yeah. Superman is not. Superman doesn't have to say laser eyes, cold breath. He just does it. But in order for Shazam to do his thing, he has to say Shazam. He has to say the magic word in order for it to work. That's just like I don't know when it started, but that became a standard for most magic systems.
Okay.
Well, it's because it's part of the show.
But I mean, everything has, like, D&D has it, Magic the Gathering has it.
But that's like, it's the rules for part of the show. It's the kayfabe of it.
Yeah, makes sense.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, if you sat down and go, all right, I'm gonna chop this woman in half, and without the quack, and boom, the smoke comes up, and now she's chopped in half. If you just said, look, and she's chopped in half, people would be like, what the fuck? Like, there would be no reaction. They'd be like, and now I'm gonna put it back together again. See? What did you do? This has to be fake. You didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
You just stood there. You didn't do the googly eyes or nothing. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some kind of selling. What up, Matthew? But shit. Travis, Spider-Man 3.
Hold on, wait.
When Harry and Max teamed up, that was not 2. Always Amazing Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield too.
Okay. All right, then never mind. I thought you was referencing Spider-Man 3. I was about to say that's not a good reference at all. Let's not do that one. I watched it again and I was like, Jesus.
Oh,
But yeah, I do like Doom. And it one guy said it, the difference between a hero and a villain, like they both have the same motivations. It's just one needs to take revenge on the planet, on the earth, because of what happened to him, and the other
Yep.
one takes solace in what happened and has to, prevent it from happening to someone else.
I give you a perfect example of that. Rabbits invade a farm. 2 different farmers start destroying the crops. The good guy catches the rabbits and refarms them or rehomes them. The villain just murks him with a fucking gun in his face. You're like,
Well,
holy shit, it's a bunny, dude. Just catch it and release it.
but here's the thing, though. That good guy caught it and put it in the other farmer's farm,
so
Well, I
who's
mean,
really
that's-
the
and
villain?
now those rabbits are smarter.
I dare you to find me a hero who didn't accidentally create his own villain.
If you totally look at it, most are that way, and no matter what, it's like they all started with something. They
'Cause
all
no-
did something that it made that.
No good
Like-
deed goes unpunished,
Ain't that the truth?
because energy is neither expelled or destroyed. It is just displaced.
Yeah.
So when you take care of evil, you didn't destroy it. It just went to someone else. That's why they say you can arrest all the drug dealers on the block. There'll be 3 more tomorrow. Somebody got to make that money.
Yeah, big farmers been trying to make that money so long, but
Word.
it's a different podcast.
Yeah, seriously.
Tune in Friday to the Tone the Show.
We'll be on the road for that one.
Sponsored by Pfizer. Side effects may cause showness, lateness. That's it, just those 2.
That's all you need, though.
One more. The inability to understand the English language.
Yes.
But somehow they always have something to eat, just right there.
Yeah.
Ready to
And
go.
we might have a special guest of and Ray's gonna be deaf for another 10 seconds.
Yep, facts. I was like, yeah, I need to stop wearing headphones.
Why do you think I don't?
I think at this point I'm the only one that wears headphones to these.
No, I
All
think
of our
Cab
fun.
does.
Yeah, Kaz does.
Oh yeah, Cabs does. Yeah.
He can't get out of his gamer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. Those headphones, I spent a lot of money to be uncomfortable.
Dude, you got a weird misshapen head.
This is true.
Yo,
That's why I don't wear
guys,
hats.
when I draw him, start big circle, it comes in and it goes back out. And dude, it sounds stupid, but when I get that shape and it works. What was that shit you used to have down here, that drawing I did?
Coming back. Let me get him.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. My head was just too damn big. That's why I stopped wearing hats too. Also, I like fucking messing with my hair now. So I was like, I'm not gonna wear hats.
And shit, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Like,
So that
if
makes
you look
sense.
at
Yeah,
the-
having to do.
You look at that other side. It dips in a little, then comes back out.
Yeah, got you. All right.
Yeah, but this drawing to me is the best drawing I've seen. All right, hold on. I gotta.
I was gonna say, I see
it looks
nothing.
like invisible ink.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? But
There you go.
oh, okay.
That's
Yep.
from Bleak's daughter.
Which, by the way, congratulations, she became a yellow belt in
Yep.
Taekwondo.
Hey. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Special guest again.
We need the dog, bro. We need the dog.
Side effects. Ray gets. No more. I have no kids to be able to say more kids though. It makes no sense.
Just because you disown them doesn't mean they're not yours.
Hold on. I want to set the record straight. The judge confirmed that he does not have to take care of the kids, so he does not have kids. Via judging rule.
The only kid I got is this one, a fur kid. That's all I got right now.
And she don't even want to be there.
Nope, she's trying to fucking leave. Oh, now she's gonna moon you out. My bad. This is what happens. That's it.
You didn't raise it right. You raised an OnlyFans girl.
Word. The minute she sees the camera, she goes buck wild. This is why we need the dog, Ray. Candy would set us straight.
Okay. At least just look at the camera. At least no. Oh, okay.
Salina.
No. Okay.
She's like, I'm gonna sit right here.
Okay. You can stay there. Just calm down. All right. I guess she's gonna be here. That's it. Oh.
For everybody that's watching that's listening to the Spotify and on the radio podcast, Ray's dog is going wild.
Yeah.
He has no control over this animal. It's biting babies.
The ASPCA has been called.
It's spinning. It's got a turkey leg in his mouth.
Okay.
It got a piece of pernil with a knife.
Oh shit.
But all right, so what do you guys want to do first? You want to review the movie or the episodes?
I think we should start with the movie because there's 2 episodes versus just the one movie.
All right. So what was you gonna say before I said that, Cap?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
No.
All right. So before we get into our reviews, what do you rate this movie?
All right. When I get into my review, you'll understand why. But I'm taking myself out of the reviewing process because if I had to give it, I can't review it, and I always mix up which one this is objectively.
Okay.
I can't review it objectively. I can only review it subjectively. And if I'm giving my subjective personal rating, 10 out of 10.
See, that's my issue too. Because I have to be biased with this film and I have to give it 10 out of 10. Because it's just so yeah, just fuck it. We're giving it 10 out of 10.
I was gonna give it a 9.
Yeah, see that's you want, man. Yeah,
The only reason why I give it a 9 is because we didn't get to see more of the chick. She was hot.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, what are you saying?
It was a little fast. It was a little fast.
Yeah, no joke. The movie felt like it just went like nothing.
Yeah.
That's also I want to feel like it's also not a bad thing, especially when we usually have to go through almost 3.5 hours of movies at times.
The last 4 comic book movies have been a slog to get through.
Yeah.
This is true.
With the exception of Guardians. Guardians was all right to get through.
No, yeah, that one was definitely easier. But this one felt like you kind of wanted some more. Like, I could sit through a little while longer.
Yeah.
If need be.
But compared to the other DCEU movies, including Shazam's and Adams and Snyder cuts, this is 10 out of 10.
Oh, compared to that, this is a fucking 100 out of 10 by that point.
Yeah. If I'm going to compare it to all the other DC movies, then I can subjectively turn around and go, it's the Nolan films, the first Wonder Woman, Blue Beetle, all the other garbage.
Yeah.
That I can do. I'm not that crazy where I'm like, this is the greatest ever. Objectively. Subjectively, and we'll get into it in my review where I put it with my own shit, but
Gotcha.
All right, so now let's get into with some reviews.
All right.
Yeah, who wants to go first? Yeah.
I mean, I'll go first. I'll go first. All right. The movie, to me, I like the fact that it was not a stereotypical Latin American, Spanish, Mexican movie. Like, yeah, they had their stereotypical shit, but it was also a lesson to be learned.
Yeah.
And sometimes the lesson isn't, family and their culture. It's, we got enough. Like, I know you want to get out of here, but what's so bad about this that you need all of that? And he found out that all of that was nothing. And the enough he had was more than enough. Because at the end of the day, when you have family, any house can feel like a mansion. You know what I'm saying? Because like the girl said, when she was in her mansion, it was lonely.
Yeah. This is where we find out Blue Beetle is just another Fast and the Furious movie.
Yeah.
It's all about family.
but the difference between this fucking family is they had structure. Like, I love the fact that you saw the father was the leader of the family. What he said goes. And then, spoiler alert, you had enough time to watch it. It's been 2 weeks. When he dies, grandma was like, I'm going to step up. And we're going to do this the right. Like, I know it's hard. And I've been through here. Now you're going to lean on me. You're going to get the strength from me. And we're going to handle our business. And when it's time to cry and feel sorry for ourselves, then we will do that. That show, because it shows. In a Spanish family, there's always that one person. All right, yeah, enough of this shit. We got shit to do.
Yeah. No, and that's what I loved about it, that it showed, because it had its tropes, like you're gonna have in a Spanish movie like that. You're gonna have little things like that, but to show how much of a matriarch a family has like that, and show just why for a lot of us that's what's important. It's having someone that is able to be that centerpiece of the family, that keeps the glue of it all, and just showing that even in moments like that, there's a reason why we're able to push through. Because there's always that someone to be like, nope, we're not. We'll have that time, but we have to make sure we keep going.
Yeah,
like that's the best part of the end, to see something like that, especially on the big screen like this.
Oh yeah. And it also shows that you could have all the talent in the world and all the stuff in the world, but if you don't accept it, you can't really do nothing with it.
Yeah.
With his tech and shit. And, getting into the story, I know Cap is going to probably detail this more, but I do like the fact that they spoke about the original. They spoke about the next one, and then they spoke about this new origin of Blue Beetle. I do like how they threw that in there.
It was perfect to have just the subtleties of it, of just like,
yeah,
we're going to make it fit for this story. That's great.
Yes. The one thing that in this movie that I was like, I wish they would have did a little bit better. They didn't show as powerful as the main villain can be, like the woman.
Yeah.
I forgot her name, but I feel like they did just enough to show that she's the bad guy, and she's always gonna be the bad guy. There ain't no ends if or buts. 100%, she's the bitch. We gotta kill her. But I feel like they could have spent a little bit more time with showing her how much of a dick, how much of a how much of a cynical person she is. Like, maybe show her with with the uncle, or maybe show like something that is like she prevented the uncle from running the shit, and that's why she's controlling it. You know what I'm saying? It went by a little fast when it came to them.
Yeah.
But other than that, I enjoyed it. It was funny as shit. George Lopez did his thing.
Yeah. I was like, it was as good as it could be, especially like you're gonna think, oh, it has to be a comedy, it has to be this. But he was so perfect in it that wasn't just, oh, it's George Lopez being George Lopez. He felt those moments of being able to be a serious actor at times, but still give you that comedy relief that you need.
Yeah.
It was great.
He had dimension to him.
Yeah.
Because not only was he the I don't want to say the fuck up, but he was the guy that's living in his brother's house, not
yeah,
really doing nothing. The
He was,
jokester,
yeah,
but
he
he was
was.
also he had intelligence.
Yeah. But that's the thing. It's that one point where it's like it's that, oh, this is gonna be viewed as the black sheep of the family. But when it counts, he's there. He's that
Yeah.
person. Like when well, we already talked about it. When the father passed, like he knew what exactly, like, all right, here we go. Jump in, get there.
Yep.
Like it's one of those where that moment of just every family has it. And it's like, oh yeah, we we got that guy there. But when it counts, it comes.
Yeah.
And also for the villain, Victoria Cord was the one I think you were looking for.
Yes.
Name wise, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember. I knew it was a V chord, but
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
remember which.
I pulled up
It's not really
the
that prominent in the comics.
yeah, I pulled up the name and cast just to make sure because I want to make sure I get the Jaime's actor's name, which I still feel like I'm gonna fuck up eventually.
Lolo Meridueña.
Yeah, the last name's easier. Maridueña was easier for me, but Zolo, I feel I
Zolo
don't know.
is easier for me.
Yeah, Zolo was not easier for me for some reason. Maridueña I could say, but Zolo I was like, is it? But whatever. But yeah,
He looked like
He
an
did
Anthony to me.
he did awesome in it though. I love Pete gave us that little spoiler in there, but it worked. Like that little point of the Jaime and Jamie point. I love it because that's especially if you have a Spanish name, 90% of the time they're gonna fuck it up.
Yeah.
90% of the time they're gonna fuck it up.
Because you know something, bro? Because in the beginning, that's the only thing they could aspire to. Like Lex Luthor, when he sees Superman, that's the ultimate power there. I want his power.
Yeah.
You know, like you see the Blue Beetle, they're going after the Blue Beetle's energy so they can reproduce it because that to them is the ultimate weapon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Iron Man. This fucking guy's a genius. What he did worked. We can make money off of that. Make other Iron Men.
Yeah.
Like Batman is the only person that came out and said, well, he has nothing we want except for the will. So let's break it.
Well, if you think about him and Ra's al Ghul, they both, even though Ra's al Ghul was a little more twisted, they both are fucking white dudes with money who trained in the fucking art of ninjutsu and other shit, and they had tech, and they wanted to take Gotham in different directions, but they ultimately wanted to do the same shit.
Yeah.
I think to answer the question more directly is, especially with origin movies, it's a lot easier to sell. It's a lot easier to sell a character versus a version of himself as some sort of like hero's journey symbolism than it is to take a villain that might be a better villain in their canon, but bring him straight out, because then you got to explain not only who the hero is and what the fuck's going on, but then who this villain is and what the fuck that villain is doing. Where you could take a better villain in a sequel, and then we already know the hero and the backstory. So now we can shed some light on the villain and get into why this guy's the bigger threat. I think that's why they do it in movies. But it's everywhere. Captain America. Who's Captain America's biggest villain? It's the opposite Super Soldier, Red Skull. Or it's Winter Soldier, the opposite fucking Super Soldier.
Yeah.
Like, who's Green Lantern's biggest villain? Sinestro. Sinestro was a fucking lantern. He does the same shit. Like
Superman is fucking Bizarro Superman, Doomsday, fucking
Brainiac.
Yeah, but is it Doomsday? Yeah, Darkseid
as fucking show one said that shit. And I was legit Googling. I was like, who the fuck is Darkseid?
That sounds like a totally different person.
And then, then I looked it up and I was like, I think it's on one of the podcasts. I'm like, do you mean Darkseid? That's something I can't get out of my head.
From now on, that's it. It's just Saeed. That's all we're doing. It's Darkseid.
It's French for beer.
That's what happens. That's how he pronounces his name when he shows up in Harlem. It's like people of Harlem, Dark Saeed has arrived.
Oh man. Oh.
So, Ray, you got any more on the?
It's like to me, the biggest part of this film that I loved is just the little things that, especially if you're part of the Latin culture, if you're part of that, you're gonna pop for it. You're gonna get into. You're gonna love just the little things. Like the biggest thing for me was the Chapulín part. I fucking got spoiled it, but I was like, it still fit. Even the post credit scene of that, I was like, this is perfect. Like, this is a little thing like that. The little one part where the Nana's watching Sábado Gigante, watching a novela in there. I'm like, this is it. This is the culture right there. Just those little bits that it's like, yep. And then the Nana listening to whatever to reggaeton at one point. I'm like, this is the cool grandma. We all got one of those. That's like, yeah. You got your more like conservative grandma, but then you got the crazy one that just listening and doing all that, doing her
Viva
fucking
la revolution.
Yo, that I was like, this is it. Nana knew instantly, like, that's it. Say hello to my little friend. She got into it.
She said, I fucking stormed more fortified places than this shit.
I was like, yo, Nana was lit. Like, it just, to me, that was the best part of it. Just the family felt natural. It didn't feel like, okay, yeah, random person, just because they're Spanish. They took the time to make this feel like a genuine family there, which I loved.
Yeah.
And then again, the little knacks at everything, even just some of the extras they had there, like cameos by, especially like certain novela people. Like I saw Carlos Ponce at one point. I'm like, yo, they got Carlos Ponce for a random cameo. And then even the security guards, Felipe Esparza. I was like,
yeah,
yo, that's hilarious. Of course, he will pop for yo and Chapulín. I was like, it's just those little reactions. It just made the movie for me. And then of course you got the Cheech and Chong bobbleheads in the car.
Yeah.
Like it adds more to it.
And we didn't even get to the part of the story. It's just of the family, which not for nothing you have to at this point.
The family was such a big part of that movie.
Yeah, you have to show the culture. Like, as much as people want to talk about fucking representation and shit, there's not a lot of Spanish representation. Like I make this joke to Cap all the time. Spanish people weren't invented until the 80s. Because you don't see them in movies.
No.
And then when you did see them, we were bad students and gang members in California or Mexicans.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, that it's like, even when you do see it, it's seen in such a negative light or just so shown so stereotypical that it's like, okay, it's like we either got to be cholos, we got to be gang members, we got to be this, we got to be this. In something like this, where no matter what part of Latin America or whatever Latinx person you are, you're able to relate. No matter what you are, you're able to relate to this movie. Because they didn't just make it about being a Mexican family. Like, there was so many parts to it that, like, it relates to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's the best part of, again, to see something like that, where the culture isn't just, well, unless you're this, you're not going to feel it. Like, no, anyone can feel this watching this type of movie.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was funny where they were like, he's the first to graduate college, and the sister was like, and the last.
Again, we all got one of those.
That's like, go in debt.
Oh man.
And that's one of the good things, is where they called out certain. That's the difference between Transformers: Rise of the Beast and this movie. Transformers: Rise of the Beast, I felt they harped too much on the. Well, look, he's just a Spanish kid. She's just a black girl. Why are they here? Where Blue Beetle mentioned the shit we all know, but didn't harp on it. Was like, yeah, they think we're this, but we're good. Don't worry about what they think.
Yeah.
Word.
So I guess we should get into the story part of this now. 'Cause I think
I
we.
want to hit Caps. The Cap. Did you go Cap? You're.
No, yeah, I was waiting for
Alright.
everybody else to give their.
Gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha.
Cap. Let's do that, and then we can go
So
deeper in this.
I wrote down a few things because I wanted to make sure that I remembered shit. But the real quick thing is that, and I'll explain more what this means. But this movie had an it factor that I didn't know I was looking for until I sat down. But right off the bat, as we talked about, family dynamics were great. George Lopez was perfectly cast in his role. Zolo was great as Jaime. I actually like him more here than I do when I watch Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Like he just brought something a little extra to this role. The comedy was actually funny. The villain was compelling and interesting, and I'll get into that. The CGI was, for the most part, good. I didn't see anything CGI wise that I was like, "Oh, that looks bad," or took me out of the movie. Overall, to be completely honest, I think this is right up there with Shang-Chi for me. This is one of my favorite comic book movies, and one of the reasons is so the it factor. If we look at it, why I think I connected so much. Jaime goes off, comes back. Prodigal son returns. I've done that. Didn't go off to college, went off to the military. Prodigal son returns. Comes back, got a smart ass sibling who's like, oh, big shot's back. I got that. Raised his father, mother, his uncle. I had that. Grandmother, big influence. I had that. Like there's a lot of things that in this movie that I looked at and I was like, damn, I connect so much with this. The fact that, like, even going into the movie, the fact that for the first time we actually get a reluctant hero who's only reluctant because he doesn't know what the fuck this is. This was just thrown on him. He was attacked by this shit. It merged with him and it took off. And he's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? But he wasn't the guy. I'm not worthy of this. I don't want this. I don't need this. He was, once he saw that, oh shit, something has to be done. He was like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to do this my way. And then when he got when he got the blessing from his father in the afterlife, or the purgatory, I guess you could say, where he was like, no, if you got to merge fully with it and fully accept. He became fucking great. And it was that refreshing where it's like, I understand why you would be hesitant in the beginning, but then we got right into, oh no, if this is going to be the way it is, we got to make this shit the best.
Yeah.
As best as we can. And the proof of the pudding is he literally turns around and is like, you said I can make anything I want? Give me a sword. Give me an anime sword. And instantly was like, yeah, if I'm in control of this, I know exactly how I want to use this within the realms of what I know to do. And the villain, when I say the villain was compelling. So Victoria Cord was the typical, she's evil just because she's an evil corporate fucking shill. But that's one half of the villain. The other half of the villain was I can't remember
The dude from the mines.
but it's not
Ignacio.
Parallax.
Caraprax.
Yeah.
Or Ignacio was his actual name.
Yeah, Carapac. So I thought that they were, first off, he looked badass. Like he looked like, okay, this dude, fuck the suit. This dude's just gonna fuck up whoever's sitting in front of him.
Yeah.
Like he never once wavered from that whole I'm in control shit. But then they do the whole thing where you see the locket and you're like, oh, he lost his wife and kids. Okay. But they hit you with the switch. He didn't lose his wife and kids because that's not his wife and kid in the locket. That's him and his mom.
Yeah.
And then you see what he went through and you see who caused it. And you see who he has to work with. And in tandem, you realize that the villain of the story is the person who created the situation, which led to the rise of the most menacing person. It was almost a Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine situation.
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's the. You want to know why Vader turned to the dark side? It's because Palpatine lied to his ass and fed him a bill of goods and twisted his mind, and he thought he had to do all this shit to save Padme. You want to
Yep.
know why? What was his name again? That actual
Carapax.
character, not the.
Carapax, yeah.
No.
Or,
What's the character's name? Not the comic.
not the only.
Ignacio.
Ignacio. Why Ignacio turned bad? Because Victoria Court was whispering in his ear, twisted his mind, fed him a bill of fucking lies.
Yeah.
Turned him into a machine like Vader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was so refreshing to see. Because halfway through the movie, when they were doing the raid on the house, and the father has the heart attack, and all that shit's going down, I'm in full tears. I'm not afraid of a minute. I was in full fucking tears.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was probably crying from that point of the movie till the fucking credits rolled. But shit, where was I going with that?
When they raided the house.
Oh, yeah. When they raided the house, I turned to Vin and I was like, yo, if that's me in the blue Beetle suit, I'm murdering every motherfucker I see. And then I realized something. Because the one thing I was joking with as we left the theater is Zolo or Jaime was like, yo, we don't kill. But his grandmother's out there fucking mowing people down. His uncle's stomping on, like, impaling motherfuckers with the Beetle shit. I'm like, yo, how funny is his family's mowing people down and he don't kill? And then I realized something earlier today, a couple days after, that if you truly gonna be a hero, right, then killing everybody doesn't make sense, because if, let's just say in this situation, a gang came in here, stole some shit from us, Pops passed heart attack because of what they did, right? As much as Vin might disagree with this, if he saw me then legit walk out of this house and take the life of each and every member that I can find and anybody that was related to them, that would push me so far in a direction that I am no longer me. When that ends, I'm not the same person walking back through that door. There's no way I can ever go back to being that person. And that's what the Beetle, that at the beginning, the Beetle was like, yo, let's kill everybody. But then when she merged with Jaime and realized who he is at his core, that's what she was like, no, I understand why you said no killing. Now I understand why I had to stop you from killing.
Yeah. That was the perfect point where you just now notice, like, they're now one instead of this. Now they're one there.
And I think that's something they did so well to give you that's one of the things that the movie did. They give you the release and the out of somebody in this group has to die for what they did. So they do the fun little, I accidentally stepped on this guy. Nameless people over here, mow down. All right, we got our get back. But in the reality of shit, that's not, the get back is not really it might be what we think we want, but it's not actually what we need.
Yeah.
And Beetle handled it the way it was supposed to be done. And the villain, Ignacio, to turn around and be like, no, I recognize what's going on now, and just to grab Victoria and just walk into the explosion.
Oh, that was perfect.
I was like, yo, that's fucking fire, because he did exactly what I said. He realized that in trying to avenge his mother's death, he went so far in that direction that it is now pointless to try to come back.
He's not the son anymore to his mom.
Yeah.
He's not that kid. He's not anymore. But it was
He's
just,
a monster.
yeah, it was so perfect of just like this is that cathartic point of just like, you know what? You need to make that sacrifice, but it's gonna be worth it.
And the minute he turned around and realized what he has done and the error of his ways, who showed up? His mom showed up to beckon him.
Yeah. That was another point. I started tearing. I was like, "Ah, damn, no!" I was like, "Why is this movie making me cry so much?" This is damn it.
I started tearing when he went in for the interview, and his whole family started cheering him in the pickup truck. Because I shit you not, I saw my uncle, I saw my mom, I saw Vic, I saw my dad, I even saw my grandma. All of them doing the same shit just to embarrass me. That's the type of family we got, just to embarrass you.
Yo, but mine is so. But that's kind of what it was when I went off. When they took me to go to the hotel to start the whole boot camp shit. Everybody was there. The whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I decided to fuck up in school. That's why I didn't get to see him off.
Yeah. But he would have been there. He would have been the craziest one. Like, all right, take it off your shirt. Oh, we got no rule. Oh, wait, one rule.
Bro, I almost got court-martialed during his graduation.
That happened off screen because I wasn't aware of any of that. But
just getting in. Mom was like, "This is why you can't join the military." I couldn't get past the metal detectors without having.
That's another thing we have where he's like, "Oh, the first person to graduate from college and the last." Well, I'm certainly not the first to do the military, but of the recent crop, I'm the only one to do military, and ain't gonna be another one. So,
gotcha.
But to go off now back into the actual like comic shit, when they turned around and was like, Dan Garrett found this beetle, and it chose him, and he became the Blue Beetle, and then he died, and it wouldn't choose Ted, but Ted still chose to take on the mantle, and then it came back and it chose like all that's it. I didn't need 57 minutes of exposition of who. That's exactly how it was in the comics. They had the comic accurate suit for Dan Garrett and for Blue Beetle. It didn't look stupid. It looked great. All of his gadgets looked great. They had the fucking bug flying thing.
Yeah, that was great.
All of it from a comic book standpoint was pitch perfect because they gave us just enough to make sure that everything was correct.
Yeah.
And you didn't need I didn't need any more, but for people who don't know what's going on, it was just enough there to make them go, okay, now I want to who's this guy? Let's find out. Let's either go back and read, or if the next movie ever comes out, let's see what the fuck happens with Ted.
It was a perfect enough introduction too. That was just like it was something to be like, here you go. It's not tying away too much from this still being an origin movie in a sense.
And the fact that George Lopez knew, he was like, "Oh, he was the Blue Beetle." It makes sense. A rich white man that has nothing better to do is the Blue Beetle running around with all these gadgets, and then he's like, "Well, how come I never heard of him?" Because he wasn't as popular as Batman. He stuck to one area, and then he named all the superheroes and all their locations. He was like, he's the Batman. Like Blue Beetle was the Batman of Gotham, the Flash of Central City, and fucking Superman of Metropolis. And then you sit there and go, see, this is how you tie in the universe. Now we know Blue Beetle exists with all these heroes.
Yeah.
It was too perfect of him being the one that just so skeptical, so just out there with theories. Because again, you always got that in a Hispanic family. Mm-hmm. That's like thinking everything. He's the guy that thinks birds are fake. Just like, nah, everyone's a spy. Everyone's a spy.
Fucking
like, again, everyone got one in the family. So
I see you, Ray.
And everybody's got one in the family. And if you think you don't, you're one.
Yep.
That's you.
Exactly. That's what someone was about to type. No, I don't. You're the person.
Yeah.
You're probably doing something. You probably got your camera covered on your computer right now for the
Yep.
feds not to see what you're doing. Oh man. But
They
there's
don't want
so
to see what
many,
I'm doing to begin with.
and this is why his cables were sticky earlier. That
This is the funny thing. This is why I said I can't objectively rate this movie, because I literally was just talking to my friend last night, and he asked me about it, and I was like, there are probably some bad parts to the movie,
yeah,
but I can't tell you what they are
yeah.
because the good. So this is the reverse Spider-Man No Way Home, where I can tell you the movie was good. I just brought too much baggage to it, and it tanked it. I tanked it for myself. Where this movie is the opposite, where the movie's probably bad. I don't know. I brought too much of myself and connected with it, so I can't see it if it is.
That's what I hate, because every person I've hit up today, I've said, "Yo, you gotta watch this movie. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing." But it's because there was so many things I connected to in it. Like the way the father passed away, I legit broke when I saw that scene.
Yeah,
because I went through that minute by minute. Well, not getting the fucking house warmed, but just the way it was minute by minute, having to see all that. And then the purgatory scene, it's one of those where you wish to have a combo like that.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to have that goodbye moment. Just to be able to be like, you know what? Here we go.
And that fucking sentiment of I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Because I'm supposed to be here right now to make sure you see this message. To make sure you get this point across. Like both times he did it. When he was just sitting in the front, and then when he was in the perk, like I don't know, it just resonated so fucking much, man.
It's
call Bleaks up, man. This is what watching Black Panther must have felt like for Bleaks.
this was our Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's right.
Latino stand up for this one.
Where the
Meanwhile,
fuck is Don Leguizamo now?
Yo, no, that was my thing. That was like, yo, I think this redeemed George Lopez. Because Latinos were kind of anti George Lopez. I feel like this saves George Lopez right now.
My friend said that. My friend was like, yo, I was like, yo, George Lopez is funny. He's like, I'm kind of off him. I'm like, for what? I didn't hear about it. And then he started telling me shit. I was like, well, all that was out of the way here.
No, yeah, this saved George Lopez, because this was it was perfect. It's like, no, you can't hate George Lopez right now because he was too good, man. He was too fucking good as Rudy. I was like, yo.
You know what else was good? Everybody had their part to play, but nobody overstepped.
Yep.
Jenny Cord didn't all of a sudden master ninjutsu out of anywhere, and she still was just like, I know this, but I'm not something. The sister learned how to use the thing, but she didn't out of nowhere just started kicking the shit out of everybody.
Nah, it felt just like that fight or flight instinct, but also when it came to it, she wasn't a superhero. She got shot, and it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? What's about to happen? I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And with one line, they explained the grandma. She literally fought for the independence of Mexico or whatever
revolution.
Yeah.
It was too perfect, because you always have that when with the older generation of, no, you don't know everything about my life. I'll explain later. It's like we never get the later though.
Mm-hmm. And if
you never get to have the story.
The older generation went through two world wars and a bunch of shit. Like I have no doubt my grandfather, if he was around and we were in that situation, I have no doubt he'd have been like, all right, who we murking? Like,
legit.
There was one time we were playing on a sidewalk. My next door neighbor and somebody else was trying to grab a rag, and he hit me in the nose because they let go of the rag, and my nose was busted open. I don't know how he saw it, but I'm like, oh shit. And they grabbed my grandfather came down the block with the shit like, what happened?
Yeah, because
he was not playing.
7 houses down.
He came down the block and said, what happened? Where his shit on some, what happened? Who's getting it? And it was like it was accident. He's like, all right, and then he stood there. He was like, all right, we fixing him. It was no playing. You don't
My
play
son
no
was
games.
ready.
Yeah,
I,
you don't play no games. It's like shit.
Again, that's the best part about that older generation. We all have it. That's like you
Yeah.
never know. Like you think you fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
But
And also one thing we didn't mention, when he was tied up and they were taking the energy from him, the
yeah.
employee was like, "This is wrong. We're gonna kill
Yo,
this nigga."
I loved that because even from the beginning, that's like I knew he was gonna have that redemption moment because they keep fucking calling him Sanchez. I was like, at one point, I'm like, yo, they really had to pick my last name though. Like, damn.
Wait, your last name is all that shit?
No. Just the no, it's just Sanchez. But it's one of those where we go through that no matter what, especially as a Latino. You're gonna get the typical, oh, you have to be this, you have to be this. It's like, no, motherfucker, my name is. That was the perfect just redemption moment. And what's funny is he's also a just comedian actor. Like he's done a lot of Spanish TV where it's always just straight comedy. To see that, have that moment.
That's the dude from what they do in the shadows, right?
He was in that too, but most of his like on Spanish television, it's just all straight comedy. So to have that moment, it was like, this is perfect.
That's how you know a movie's got you. When that part came up, when he was like, yo, my name is, and he went into that whole like typical Spanish, I got 18 last names. It was not only funny, like legitimately funny, but it was a cathartic moment. It was like, yeah, fucking finally stand up for yourself, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, because because that's the thing. That's another stereotypical thing. It's like you feel like we know what we're doing is wrong, but I can't lose my job, kid. Like, I have shit that I got a family I gotta take care of too. Like this, I can't. Like she literally like she owns me right now. Like I don't know what to do. And then when you just like, you know what, enough's enough, bitch.
Because he knew it's like.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I'm not gonna kill this kid. I have a line. I'm not killing this kid for no kind of tech. Fuck that.
See, that's why I say, like, I've heard reports where like they're like, oh, Susan Sarandon was just a bullshit villain, no depth, no whatever. But I believe that the purpose of her is to be the part of the villain duo, as I explained, that we absolutely hate.
Yeah, because there's always that one that it's like you get the little bit of sympathy for, but then she was just a straight fuck this bitch.
That's the one that we had as a cathartic experience, is to direct all the anger to. Because in that thing, you're saying, oh, he's trapped, he can't go nowhere. But you can see behind his eyes that deep down inside, she twisted him enough that he thinks there might be some good I can do from here.
Yeah.
If I get this, if we unlock this, she could do her army thing, but there might be something that I get to do that's good. And then when he hit that realization that, oh no, the Emperor's got no clothes on, now it's time to do some shit.
Mm-hmm.
And again, even he stood up, but he didn't all of a sudden become a fucking, like, he didn't turn around and beat the shit out of everybody. He did what he did, and he took his death.
Yeah.
Which when the blood splat hit the screen, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we went there.
He knew it was like it was. He knew what he was doing. It was his goodbye moment because this dude's about to murk him. Because that's what this dude was. Ignacio was a merc just from the get-go. But imagine now you're giving him a power suit. That's it. He's about to go haywire on everybody. The thing about him though, even Ignacio's turn at the end of just like he knew what he had to do. It was too funny for me because I'm like, and another thing, he's doing the same type. Because in Mayans, when he was Taza, it was kind of the same. There was like he didn't want to do everything the Mayans were doing, but he just thought this is the way.
Mm-hmm.
Till it was over that moment that's like, you know what? I'm good. Peace.
Well, he had to.
Yeah.
Because they were gonna out him as being gay.
Yeah.
In the Mayans, not in the
Mayans, yeah, in the Mayans.
But Did you get that subtle nod when she was talking to the military guy, and she introduced him to Ignacion, whatever,
Yeah.
and he gave him that look like, bro, you're just a mercenary. I'm a real soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave him that disrespect of like, and that was one of those that I almost felt like, again, it's that one of those that happen when you're just an employee.
Yeah.
You're just here, like, like even when they were the cleaning squad there, of just they even treated like that. That's like, no, we're nobodies to them. Like those little things that again, it sadly happens in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that they showed that too. That's just like, hey, this is.
But again, to the point I was making earlier, they showed it, but they didn't dwell on it. It didn't define somebody's fucking character. Like they didn't run on to shit that we know exists. They just they almost showed like kind of like how I don't know about Toby, but like how I am. It was like people say some shit and I'm like, okay, that's not gonna fucking really stop me.
No.
You say whatever the fuck you want. Like they just showed how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Like it happens and you're like, no big deal. I'm still doing what the fuck I do. She still went and took a shit in that fucking nice bathroom.
That's right.
I knew. I was like, how are they gonna get caught? Like, what's about to happen? But I like the way they did it. That's like, fuck it. This is even in a moment like that where you feel like you're nobody, you're still gonna stand up for what's right.
I'm not gonna lie. There was that one point where he stood up and Jenny said something to Zolo or to Jaime, and I think I said out loud, I was like, well, fuck it, next time let her get punched.
Yeah. It was at the cars. Like I understand the whole thing, but I don't need you to save me or some shit like that. It's like, damn, bitch, fuck it.
Yo, because that's something that I think has been lost. Where especially in a situation like that, where this menacing motherfucker with a metal arm is getting in your face, it's not that I don't think you can't fucking handle no, bitch. You gonna need more than one of us is gonna have to do something to stop this dude. Whether
It's like,
you want to admit it or not. Like,
yeah, it's one of those where, come on, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do much, but I'm gonna at least say I can, because
yeah,
it's
you
like
don't need to be getting smacked in the face with that metal hand.
Yeah,
let's put it this way, sir. Do not hit this woman.
Hit me if you want.
If you need to hit someone, hit yourself.
Yo, I guarantee you, watch somebody struggle to lift something in the street, right? And everybody walk by because they're like, oh, Macho Man, he don't need no help. Look at this stupid dude. He think he can lift some shit. But the minute somebody comes up unprompted to help out, to lift the burden, first thing that dude's gonna be like, yo, thank God you showed up. Shit, this is gonna take me all day to get it. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh man.
But
apparently none of us like Blue Beetle. Worst movie ever.
That's it. Like that's
I'm sad to say that. So it had you know me, I like to do cinema scores.
Yeah.
Plus cinema score, not that good for superhero movies in context. Then it's really flailing in the movie theaters right now. But I mean, I guarantee you, if Zolo and George Lopez were out there promoting this movie, it would have hit bigger.
Yeah.
Especially Zolo. Zolo has something in him that if he went out and was able to do talk shows and interviews and all that, he could have brought people in to see
the Spanish community.
I feel like this is going to be one where by then it's kind of too late, but I would hope by the time the physical media release comes out, they can promote, because I feel like that's where you'll see people rush to watch. Max is going to have its fucking highest stream with this because the Latin community will watch. The problem is they can't do fucking media right now. The strike is fucking killing this. Like, because I haven't seen one bit of promotion on like a Despierta America, on a Telemundo, on any of that. They
Yeah.
can't do shit.
I
Like
just keep seeing the commercial on Instagram.
that's the sad part. There's legit nothing they can do about it right now because of the strike. But I feel like this movie just has, unfortunately, a lot against it because it's also that it's gonna be the Spanish superhero movie for that's gonna be the label on it, and yeah.
But now, because I don't want to end on that. Yes, we all sat here and said how we connected to this movie, and a lot of, even though they're Mexican Americans, were they Mexican or Cuban? Yeah, Mexican, right?
Mexican, yeah.
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 Even though they're Mexican, a lot of the Spanishness we all connected to. Like we all
Oh, yeah,
had
and that's what I
some-
said. That it felt
Yeah.
like it's one of those where anyone could connect to it.
Yeah. But by the end of the day, this is a kid who's got a family who's backing him up, who got put in an extraordinary circumstance, rose up to the occasion, and had the support of his family. That in and of itself is not just a Spanish thing. That's the
Yeah.
human experience. So I think this movie had enough people, had marketing or whatever reached out to enough people and enough people saw it, they'd be able to walk out going, that was my family up there.
See, but that's we get to know that because we saw it.
Yeah.
Whatever marketing that has been done, it's only going to be seen as, oh, this is the Spanish superhero movie. Because that's the only thing I've heard. Like when other people are talking about it before it came out was, I don't know if I'm going to see it. It just looks like a Spanish superhero movie. It's like,
Yeah, and you know one thing that was also subtle, but that they didn't harp on too much, but that you get to learn is how to be a man in this, how to control your emotions, how to not cross over in a situation where you feel like the right thing to do is murk everybody. You know, like George Lopez is talking to Jaime on some, yo, you know your father fucking came to this country, worked 17 hours a day, any job he can do to get the rest of us over here. And when he got the rest of us over here, he still worked all those jobs, anything he could do all those days so he could support us. That's who your father was. And it wasn't a long speech. It was just like, yo, see, that just goes to show you the man that your father was, how hard he working he was, and how much he loved his family.
No.
And that's you. You have to now take over this mantle and protect us and protect, be the hero that you was born to be.
And what did the father say from jump? Every time they brought up they're losing the house, he had a heart attack, he lost his shop, he's doing everything. What did he say? Don't worry about it. We'll get through it. We always get through it.
Yep.
No.
He didn't sit there and unload it onto everybody else. He took it, he found his ways of finding what actually truly means shit and what can actually keep you going, to see that there's something on the other side. We don't have to be stuck right here.
which again, that's something where, especially if you watch the movie, you can see that's something anyone could just connect to, of having that spirit of no matter what, we got to look forward to the end of the road there. Just there's something, there's a bright side to it. Like it's, again, maybe some people are going to see it and have an unbiased view of it, but I can't pick anything bad about this movie, man.
I definitely, I've seen I've seen reviews where they were like, it's fine, it's good. But
I gotta watch some reviews tomorrow because I feel like there's nothing
with those reviews. So all right, I seen one review, and I always feel weird about saying other fucking channels on here.
No.
But I seen one review where they were like, the first act of the movie was whatever, and then at a certain point it switched and they were on board fully. Then I saw another review who was kind of like, no, it's way better than I thought it would be. Decent enough film. Too bad it doesn't mean shit in the DC whatever. Then I saw the third review where it was mostly like, it's fine. It's, it's whatever. It's not bad. It's not great. It's kind of in the middle. And the last 2 reviews, I honestly believe, is because for whatever reason, it didn't connect with them the way it connected with us, even though it should have. Because, like I said, it's all universal shit.
Yeah.
But maybe, I mean, just because it's universal doesn't mean everybody has those experiences.
Yeah, and that's gonna be the thing too. It's one of those where if you can't find something, maybe this isn't gonna be the film for you. But I feel like no matter what, there's something in this film you can find that's gonna connect to.
Yeah.
Because everyone has something in this. Like there's no way not to have at least some element that they portray in this film, and
And
maybe they just don't like Becky G.
yeah,
Maybe that's what it is.
But you know, let's not fuck it. I'm gonna talk about the Spanish heritage. It's like one of the strengths that we always depend on is our family.
Mhm.
You know, we always harp on that. Like that's what it is. I asked my uncle one time. I said, "How did you get over losing your mother and your father?" And he goes, "Yeah, I started hanging. Like I started being with the family more. The more I was with the family, the more I was able to get past it, and and all the other stuff. It's like, how does Jaime get his strength? All his motivation was to get his family out of that place and to live luxurious lives. It wasn't selfishness. He didn't want to leave and be like, all right, I'm going to leave, be rich and fuck y'all. He wanted his family there. So when we see how strong his family is, we get to know how strong he can be. Because that's his foundation is the family.
That's what he told Ignacion.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, with other reviewers, I'm pretty sure they don't want to connect with that because it's like it may be too real, or it's just one of those like, I just want to see what the Blue Beetle could do. I want to see more of the imagination. But yo, believe it or not, this isn't the Green Lantern. Green Lantern, you got to show imagination because it's willpower and imagination. You can create anything with the ring. He can make weapons. He made a sword. Good shit.
Yeah,
that's not what the Blue Beetle is.
You took a fucking. For anybody who said, "Oh, he made a sword," yeah, he made the sword from Final Fantasy. Like you took a kid who's probably a gamer and said, "Hey, you can make any weapon you want." Well, what? I would have made a fucking lightsaber. Like,
word.
He just went in with what he knew, and that's the best part because it's one of those where, if you were in that position, your weapon of choice would have probably been something wacky, just like that.
I'd have made the fucking blasphemous blade from Elden Ring, where when I struck it on the ground, an energy bolt came out and fucking.
So again, it's if you can't connect with that moment of just like, hey, if you're in there, fuck it, yo, I'm thinking about, all right, boom, just something. Like, come on.
But yo, I know we joke about family with the Fast and the Furious,
No.
but the original Fast and the Furious was based off of he made his own family. He has his own crew. That was his family. Letty, his sister, Vincent, the nerd guy, and the other guy that for some reason doesn't want to show up in any other movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his family. They stuck together. They rode together. They had to protect each other. If we didn't get the basics of how tight they were, none of it would have mattered when they killed the stuttering guy. I forgot his fucking name. When they killed the tech guy, none of it would have mattered when Vincent got all fucked up and Brian had to release, like he had to like basically blow his cover so they could save him. Like later on when Vincent comes back from fucking Brazil, none of it would have mattered if he didn't show up. If he showed up and was like, oh shit, there goes Vincent. No one cares. But you see, that's Dominic's brother.
No.
You know what I'm saying? He came back. Oh shit. Okay, we got somebody from the past in here. You have to make those foundational structures strong in order to lean on them when the time is right.
Yeah. And I feel like that's going to be the complaint of people that can't connect to something like that they focused on this family being so important.
Too much.
Yeah, but
I feel like that's going to be the issue. That they're going to be like, this
yeah.
is a superhero movie. Why do we care about the family? Why are we not showing Blue Beetle?
Every superhero Flash's mom. We have to show how much he loves his mom in order for him to destroy the fucking universe to run back and save her. We have to show how much Bruce Wayne loves his fucking parents in order for him to become Batman. Superman, we have to show how much he loved his fucking father, his adopted father, so that way he can stand and have morals and not and be better than the people that were fucking that he's fighting for. Fucking Spider-Man, his uncle. We have to show how strong these bonds are because, like I said, these are the foundational points of all these superheroes. We all have these nexus events that need to happen in order for a superhero to evolve and become its own. And for some, and it's always losing someone. It's always losing someone, and that someone that you lose is family. It could be your mother, your father, your brother, your wife, your cousin, someone that's important to you. Even if they're not blood related, it's still a family member. Yeah. You know, so it's the whole shit is like, yeah, I get it. Every superhero has it, but this is where you go in and you watch this superhero.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're gonna start doing the whole shit, we're tired of the family shit, then just stop watching movies, period. Because you can't tell me John Q wasn't a good fucking movie. But you know what else happened in John Q? They showed how strong his family was, even though when they were struggling. Yeah. They showed how strong his bond was with his best friend. They showed how willing he was to die to save his son. Similar to fucking Blue Beetle, similar to Spider-Man, Batman, and all these fucking people. Every single movie that has some kind of emotional force against it has something to do with family. So if you're tired of that shit in Blue Beetle and all these other movies, stop watching movies. All of it has it.
Yeah. It's also, it's one of those where if you think about it, it's just reflecting life though.
Yeah.
Because no matter what, even if you don't have a bond with your blood family, you still find something to connect to. You find someone in this. You make your own family. Shit, we learned it from Fast and Furious too. You can't make your own family end of the day.
Yeah,
so if you can't relate to that,
all you gotta do is say "What's up, cuz?" and our pockets ain't empty.
No, we hungry, but
yeah, for real, we hungry.
It's one of those where if you can't have that, if you don't have that connection, I don't know, something might just be wrong with you. Like I don't know, but
if you can't have that connection, it's because you don't want it,
or you're just trying to say you don't have it, just to say you don't have it. You're trying to. Yeah. This is going to be that movie that, again, a lot of people are going to pick apart just to say they picked it apart. Because that's going to be the trend.
Yeah. And, and not for nothing, I feel like it's also because you see a Mexican / Spanish family.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm going to be less inclined to say that only because Encanto was a fucking phenomenon. Everybody loves Encanto. And that was 100% pure Spanish family.
Yeah, but it also had the music and it was the digital, you know, and it's also catered to kids. So like when you're in your family, you know, your daughter or your son is watching this shit and it's like, oh, this is a good message because I'm trying to get across to them that their sister and their brother or their mom is supposed to be the most important people in your life. It's easy to show it through that. You know what I'm saying? But when you got Blue Beetle, it's like, oh wait, I came here to see people kick names and take ass. You know, like you got these motherfuckers sitting there. How much can I get for 20? They don't give a shit about the family. They fast forward into the action scenes. They want this movie to be 10 minutes, straight up action, and then I'll get to go home.
Yeah. They don't want the middle part, which is like, that's what a movie needs, though. It needs that. It needs something.
Yeah.
You can't just have action, because then it's like, oh, what else you got? It's like, well, you didn't want the what else. You want this to be cut, then you can't complain afterward. It's funny, you mentioned Encanto. That's the part when they at the end, I'm like, I love that they show this stuff. Because that's how a real community is. In those hardest moments, a fucking community will come together.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, it's the Encanto scene again. When their house is all fucked up. So here we go. Everyone's here.
What else? They also did a good job of. All right, so the stakes aren't the world's ending. So if it's not world ending stakes, what is it? Personal stakes.
No.
And they did a good enough job of making Jaime. Now he had to give a shit in this role. This wasn't a thing of I'm in over my head. I don't know what to do. I'm the only one here. No, this is happening to us. It's the mom. When she turned around, I was like, yo, I forget the whole speech, but she's like, yo, go in there, find your sister, and kick the shit out of everybody. Like, there you go. You
I
want
love
your
that
steak?
even that Kaji even said it's like a partir la madre. I was like, this is perfect. I was like, that's it. That's all we need.
Yo, because that's it right there, man. The whole look of that again with the family when something has to be done and it's hard, it's difficult. You don't think you can do it. When you see somebody in your family turn around and go, dude, now. It's like in wrestling. That dude's in the tag match getting his ass kicked, and then here comes the hot tag. And you go in there and you fucking kick the shit out of it. That was the hot tag. That was the moment where you're like, yo, it's time to go.
It was Cody Rhodes talking to Sami Zayn. People think you're a joke. People don't think that you can fucking do this. Show me you can fucking do this.
Yeah.
You know. But also, it's validating to get permission from your mom to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
When
No,
your mom
it's-
goes, okay, now go fuck them up. Oh, you fucked up. Mama said I could do it.
it's one of those where just again it shows how important those people in your life are. How important, especially again, I'll equate it to the Latin family, but just that moment there where your mom says something like that. What is that? Because he already had the speech from his dad that it connected there at one point. But it's like now it's the sensitive touch. It's the mom being like, now go
what's
fucking
funny?
do it.
Mm-hmm.
What's funny is one of the reviews that I saw, the one who was like, it's all right, whatever. He specifically said that the mom didn't have anything to do. And then I'm watching it going, but from my perspective and my background and what I bring into it, yeah, the entire movie, she didn't really play a part in the sister and the uncle and the father and all that. But the most important part, she had. Because that's I equate that's the same as when Adrian turned around and was like, well, what the fuck are you afraid of?
Yeah.
We have nothing left. When Adrian, because she did it twice in Rocky 2, when Adrian gave him permission.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Go do what the fuck you need to do.
Yep.
That's the most important part.
Yeah, and that's what's needed because in those type of things, it's that moment of just when you think everything is lost, they're there to fucking talk.
And also what she did in that situation was she accepted the what was the machine's name? The Blue Beetles.
You could just say the Scarab.
The Scarab. She accepted the Scarab as part of her son because she said both of you need to protect each other.
No.
And go kick their ass.
Dude, I might mistake. She talked to it first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, I know you can hear me. It was protect my fucking son.
That's it. Yo, that's something my mom, if you want to know if my mom would have done that shit, the first dog we ever got, my mom literally in the middle of North Shore sat it down and had that one-to-one conversation with it. Like that shit happens. And it's a small moment, but that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's where all the shit happens. In the small moments.
No. And those small moments like that, again, it means the most. It's what builds something like this. And it helps us now understand, especially with this, of just that value in the character and what this brings. Like I said, the cast to me, it was perfect. Just everything had its role. Everything played crucial to it. Like it was perfect. Like
yeah. And
even Milagros in it was great. The sister of just being that annoying sister, but it's like, hey, it adds something because now it's like, you know what? As annoying as she could be, you were there and ready to go kill these motherfuckers to make sure she's alive.
As annoying as she was, you could tell how close they were.
Yeah.
You could tell. There was a difference between annoying, like just being an annoying person in general and being the annoying little sister. She
Yep.
was the annoying little sister. Where he's like, I know you too well. What you say is not gonna fucking bother me.
Yeah. I keep laughing at fucking thinking of George Lopez like, it went up in school.
Ah! My tailgate! You bring up my tailgate! Yo, he's screaming high pitch and everything.
Yo, when you just hear bang, because he's fucking just fucking going nuts. I'm like, he'll be okay. It's like, no.
Oh, yeah, and the best part, I got you a new tailgate. It's blue.
Blue.
You get it on the nose a little too much, huh?
My
We'll
favorite
see if
part,
we like it.
my favorite part is when he recognized what was supposed to happen and he told everybody else like, hey, come help me like this new car.
Oh, the part where they were about to kiss and he walks in and she goes, nothing happened. He goes, her mom died. I was like, dude, that made me die. That made me. I couldn't. I was like, I was the one screaming.
Yo,
like,
I
oh,
legit,
legitimately funny.
I legit spit out my fucking drink because I was like, this motherfucker. Oh, her mom died. It's like, what? It's like, just talk about fully just buzzkill. Like, and my son was like, oh, he had to cover himself because he knew like these pajamas are a little too revealing. All right, just
that right there is what I call good writing.
Yeah,
because that was an emotional scene. Right, her mom passed. She did the painting. She was the one who kept Ted grounded and shit like that. But the reason why comedy works is because every tragic situation has to have something that can be made light of in order for you to bear it. And in that moment when he turned around and said nothing happened, her mom died, like that's the shit that, should we laugh? Probably not in reality, but that's the shit that makes it bearable. That's the shit that makes it like it's not an albatross around your neck that fucking hangs around forever.
Yeah, it's like it's that more where again in real life it'd probably be a reaction like, oh, no. It's not what you think. Oh wait, your mom died. Oh man, that was too fucking funny. Too fucking funny.
Yeah, it was too fast, too funny.
Oh,
it's funny how they were yelling at her when she went to see the scarab in them, and they're like, take it out before they make another hole in the roof. It's your fault that we got a hole in the roof.
No, that scene of just, this would be a typical Hispanic reaction of like, oh, he's possessed. It's like you just saw the thing just.
It went up his school.
So, what do you call it? To get on to bring this up, the non-stereotypical. You think everybody's a stereotype, but the grandmother was a freedom fighter. The dad, the stereotypical dad, but he worked his ass off and he built something from nothing. The mom was strong enough to know when to interject, when not to interject, what to say, strong enough to accept what the fuck's happening. The sister, what do you call it? The sister wasn't just a stereotypical fucking smart ass annoying person for the sake of being annoying. There were moments where you're like, all right, I see the humanity in you. George Lopez, everybody thinks, oh, he's the crazy uncle, whatever. No, this motherfucker's smart.
Yeah, genius.
He was able to discern what the fuck's actually happening.
Yo, and to go off of your point there, we have 3 men handling their business, searching for themselves, but strong enough to know this is what I need to do right now. And then on top of that, you had 4 women that were strong enough to stand there and support these guys. and when they needed to, step up and keep them in check.
Yep.
The grandmother, when the father died, okay, I'm gonna step up and put all you motherfuckers in check, and we're gonna put our mind back. They took our boy. We need to get him back now.
Yep.
The mother, okay, so you possess my son, and you two are now together. You protect my son, and you protect him, and you go kick their ass and get your sister back.
Yep.
The sister, they got my brother. We gotta get him. I'm going to get my brother no matter what. The uncle had no idea who he wanted to be. He just knew he had to do something. And he turned out to be a tech genius.
Yeah.
The son, he was college graduate. The future is unclear to him because now he's like, okay, step 1 is done. I don't know what step 2 looks like. Hero. Because he knew he had to step up because this is where you are now. The father. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. All I know is I'm supposed to be sitting here talking to you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And that's life. That's literally, you want to talk about a traditional family? That's it. Fuck all the men providing and all other shit. And it's men have no idea what the fuck they're doing, but they're doing their best. And women are strong enough to support them and keep them in check when need be. That's it. No one has it figured out. But you're going down the road.
Yep.
When life gives you lemons, throw it on a steak. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much what it is, man. Some people are gonna wake up and they're gonna be millionaires with the path they go, and some people are gonna work just as hard and become family men.
And either way, it's okay.
Yeah, and that's what it is, and that's how you succeed in life because no one went anywhere by themselves.
Yep.
Batman had Alfred. You know?
And a whole bunch of orphan little boys.
That sounds weird.
And the police officer and the commissioner's daughter.
Yeah.
And they still had time to stop for fucking milk.
Yeah,
But-
fucking.
No,
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
Did anybody else go through this, or it was just me? The scene where the dad has the heart attack and died. I'm in full tears. I don't know if you guys were.
Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
bro.
But then when the grandmother was like, "Now's not the time for crying," I legit tried to stop in the theater. I was like,
I tried.
She's
I
right.
tried to stop.
It's not the time.
You know what was worse is that I legit was like, yeah, it's not the time. But I'm looking over and my mom is fucking bawling. So I'm like, I gotta stop crying because she has to stop crying. I'm like, no, we're trying to watch.
It's not the time, Mom.
I had some dude next to me who was with his wife and kid, and the whole time I'm trying not to make a sound, and I'm trying not to, like, I don't want to look in his direction because it's like I don't need him to turn around and just see me. This movie's so good.
I legit the point where I lost it was the in the purgatory when they're talking. That's when I was like,
Yeah.
fuck. I couldn't hold back my crying anymore. But during that scene when he's passing, and I'm like, okay, I'm good. And then I look over, I'm like, oh fuck. Here, drink my icy or something. Like, just stop crying. Like, I was like, fuck. That when she says that though, that's a scene where it's like, I just showed you how strong of a person and just what she is to be able to say, this isn't her time to cry. We'll have that moment. And then you think in that most happiest moment, they're all safe and sound. They're going to make it home. Now we can cry. Like, it just shows you how strong of a people they are.
Yeah.
Like, that was.
And they also showed it's okay. Like, you're gonna get your chance to be sad, but right now we can't.
Yeah.
And when it's time, yeah, it's okay to be sad.
Yeah.
We went through a tragedy. Now, be sad.
Yep.
Just don't live in it.
Yep.
Shit, and for that's what we get the 10 out of 10, man, because
It's
yo, listen, when it comes to a movie and then when it comes to comics, and I'm gonna say this shit all the time, everyone finds something to connect to, and they find something to learn from and pull up from to design their life around. Was it the best script in the world? Was it the best pace in the world? Maybe not. But can you connect to it? Can you grow from this? Can you be inspired by it? Can you be like, yo, this is the person I want to be, or this is, somebody I aspire to be? Yes. And that's what movies need now. We can't keep having the same drug dealer getting away from the feds and all these fucking power shows and all the other shit. It's like, okay, now everybody wants to be a fucking drug dealer. My man literally is a college student. Is just trying to fucking find his way and make sure his family's safe.
No.
What's wrong with that?
It's just a shame that this is gonna wind up being a money loss, and David Zaslav is not gonna give a shit. And we might see Jaime again, but I don't know if we'll ever see like a true sequel to this.
I hope we do. I hope we do, because
the report I just read so far, it's a $38 million loss right now.
Yeah, but everything's gonna be a loss right now because they doomed it to fail. James Gunn should be like, something, I like the fucking foundation of this movie, and I'm gonna keep it, and we're gonna grow off of that and adopt it to our style.
James Gunn can 100% say that, but unlike with Disney, even though Bob Iger is a fucking ass, Zaslav is a different beast. That's a whole bunch of different that he's dealing with. Where like what do you call it? It seemed like Kevin Feige was given the keys to the car. Or no, matter of fact, Kevin Feige was given a car. Here, this is your car. James Gunn was given the keys to a car. A lot easier to take away the keys than it is the car. Just keep that in mind.
Nah, I hear you,
but let's see what he does. He hasn't even got started, really.
No.
Who knows what he's gonna keep, not keep.
I hope again he's able to do something with this. Like, I hope he's able to find this somehow. Like, Jesus, Bam's doing all right though.
Who's that, from Jackass?
Yeah, the one that's in and out of rehab. He's been clean right now. Damn.
Whenever you see it in the obituaries, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Jesus. I hope they're able to work this somehow, because I would love to continue to see what they can do with Jaime and what they do with the Blue Beetle story, and but it's a I guess we'll wait and see.
Word. All right, we pretty much got through that, right? We ain't got no final statements.
No, I think we've expressed exactly how we felt with this movie.
I think we gave it enough of a reason why it's a 10 out of 10 on
with our 100% unbiased opinion.
Of course,
that's right.
Unbiased commentary.
That's right. So, anybody that's playing the at home game, that home version, go watch the movie.
Facts.
And not for nothing, Cap knows this. Sometimes I fall asleep involuntarily. I was awake the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
I was awake the entire movie.
And this was an early movie where it was 9:30. We went to go see it. I think he even fell asleep doing Guardians for a little bit.
That's right. No, yeah. So that should say something.
Nope. I've seen it because I've seen on the Raw watch along. Told you.
Yeah, that's because this motherfucker don't sleep. He's gonna turn himself into an insomniac.
Oh man.
Yo, Mr. Loki, man.
Yeah.
Yo,
for anybody who's playing the home game, as we like to say, who hasn't watched the movie, watch it by next week. Come back into the chat. Let us know what you think. Whether you liked it, didn't like it, whatever. Just let us know what you think. If you haven't already seen it. If you have seen it, hit us up in the chat.
Yeah, comment down below.
Yeah, give us your thoughts. And let us know how many times you cried during this movie.
Yeah. Like, subscribe, share, turn the notification bell on, and go fuck yourself.
I was gonna say, don't forget though. Go fuck.
Yeah,
yourself.
word.
Yeah, I would. I mean, you know, this channel grows at whatever pace it's growing, but I would like to one day do the obligatory Raid Shadow Legends fucking sponsorship that everybody else gets to do.
Yeah, right.
That'd be fucking cool.
Oh man, I got that for Twitch, but I'm like, it's the fucking little bylaws. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I'd rather get it when YouTube finally sends, hey, here you go. Here's your fucking ad.
Yeah.
Because Twitch is annoying with it.
No, I would like to be sponsored so I could be like, hey, today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
And this is where our cursing has to go all the way down.
Dude, that's why you put me in.
Yep, that's
Shit.
it.
Yo, you know this show is
I don't
bad
curse.
when you put the sailor to not fucking curse.
Listen, I don't curse, so we good.
No, you don't curse. You just say bad words.
Yep.
There's no brujeria shit here.
I knew he was gonna go that route. It's like, no, I've never put a curse on anyone.
That's
Well,
right.
fuck that motherfucker.
And if you Chelsea Green knows I can handle curses. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, they knew so much that they were like, nah, we got to give it to
Yeah.
Paper Never.
Word. They were like, no. This motherfucker gonna lavate los manos us.
Yeah, I'm surprised Vince didn't see that and was like, oh, Papa Shango again?
Boogity, 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 boogity.
Dude, that's more Kamala, bro. I don't know what you're doing.
Hey, Papa, I need to smoke. I want to smoke. Street Profits for my Papa Shango.
What do they call themselves now?
No, they're still the Street Profits, but they're
Okay.
just, yeah.
It's just
They're
better
not
dressed.
the hurt business again?
Nah, that's what everyone's calling it. That's just a new herb business, but
That was
We
funny
still
when
know.
Xavier Woods was like, yo, the Street Profits turned into Shelton Benjamin and
Hey, Xavier Woods.
Cedric Alexander.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods told him he turned into Xavier.
Yeah. You turn into me and Shelton Benjamin.
Yo, that's sad when I'm quoting more wrestling than Mr. Wrestling himself here.
Hey,
But again,
man.
remember, Toe falls asleep when we're watching Raw.
Yo, Cedric
This
the
is why-
Entertainer hasn't been on Raw since they knocked down the fucking Hurt Business.
Cedric the Entertainer was on
I call
Raw?
him Cedric the Entertainer.
I was
Yo.
like, damn, I've never seen Cedric. on
Because
it.
they don't let him wrestle.
Shelton
he's always there
Benjamin
trying
and
to
Cedric
entertain.
Alexander haven't been on TV since they knocked down the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, that's true.
They've been on main event though. They've been on main event. But I haven't seen them on Raw in a minute.
Main event hasn't even been on TV.
Weren't they drafted to SmackDown?
Yeah. And they're just used on main event. That's about it.
All right, well,
Yo, before we go, that's the fucking. I don't know if you guys ever seen Bewitched, the remake with Nicole Kidman and
Yeah.
Will
Will
Fer-
Ferrell?
There's a scene where he's like, "I'm Ryan, I'm playing the guy that they replaced, and no one noticed." That's what the hurt. That's what Cedric Alexander is sitting there. It's like they just redid the Hurt Business and replaced us, and no one knows.
That's what MVP tweeted out. You guys got to stop like fantasy booking just every black guy in this role. Because everyone kept putting the mashup of like, oh, they got to put Carmelo Hayes in there and Trick Williams in there and this guy in there and this guy there and this guy. It's like, just no, not everyone is just going to be the Hurt Business.
Yo,
There's more factions that can have.
dude, in 2K23, the My Rise story, I chose the Hurt Business over Legacy.
And
Me
then
too.
it's everyone else in it, but the actual Hurt Business.
Yeah, because I thought I was because if you don't choose when you walk up, if you don't choose them, it's Carmelo Hayes and Almost.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, that's cool to team up with them. No, it's the same motherfucker. If you walk over to Legacy, you just bring him over with you to her business. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Still a good story though.
Yep, yep,
yeah.
yep.
All right.
So Katana, Disney Plus, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fuck around with us. No, but yeah, all right. So let's get into episode 1.
Are we gonna do the rating?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
before, or what do we?
all right. Set up for a rating system. Let's do, or like, just how are you liking it so far? We'll do that kind of rating. Episode 1 and 2. Has it caught your eye? Do you still need more, or this ain't the shit I thought it was?
For me, it's gonna be a wait and see. I still need a little more to see if I'm gonna like this season.
Okay.
That's for me.
For me, I feel like something's missing, and I'll get into specifics about it. But I feel like something's missing, and I even have a line that I wrote that, again, when I get into my actual review, that it will make sense.
Okay. So I rewatched the 2 episodes today at work, and I'm gonna go with it caught my eye. Because the first time watching it felt like it dragged. Second time I watched it, it went by fast. But I will tell you this: the first 2 episodes felt like they were live action versions of the cartoon. It did give me with watching the cartoon with real people.
Rebels.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like if this was another episode, just live action, which I kind of hope they get away from, but I think they're gonna get away from that because it was nostalgia they showed with these 2
It was the
episodes.
prologue.
Yeah, but I did like So Katana did something with those swords that we don't never see with the lightsabers. Like she uses the Force in a completely different way. And not for nothing, it goes to show you that she learned some shit from Anakin. She learned some shit by herself. And yeah,
No, so you talk about when she threw him down and spun him
yeah,
into a circle.
yeah,
Funny that you say that, because she did that all the time in the animation.
yeah. But to see it live action,
No, I get what
Yeah.
you're saying, but it's funny for somebody who, like, I know you've seen the
yeah,
cartoons, but for somebody who's seen the cartoons, it's like, oh, she did the thing, and you're like, oh, that's new. What?
well, I mean, compared to everybody else, like you
Yeah.
see it live action, like oh shit, and the line that the other Jedi said was like her Force, her connection to the Force is elusive, but her ambition to get things done is
Oh,
indefinite or
yeah,
something.
her connection to the Force is elusive, but her determination is strong.
Yeah, and even he acknowledged this ain't the one really to fuck with. This isn't the one we can let do whatever they want. But it would be a shame to kill another Jedi. But that's where I'm confused because she's not a Jedi.
Yeah, but neither are they.
I hear you.
Like, I think they're redefining. They're gonna wind up redefining what it is to be a Jedi. Because if you look at it, was Qui-Gon a Jedi? Qui-Gon
No.
went against everything that the fucking Jedi Council did. He wasn't really with them. This motherfucker, he had emotions. He felt different shit. Like,
Yeah.
Anakin was technically forced to be a Jedi Master. When they threw him on the.
it was funny because they gave him an apprentice. They called him master, but never let him get any of the perks. And that's what helped tip him over to Palpatine.
Yeah, and then Luke technically isn't a Jedi.
Yeah, like he wasn't fully fucking trained either. So, like, I mean, does she really need to be?
So it's very elusive of what the definition of a Jedi is at this point now.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna be like
So
Jedi-esque, I guess.
For me,
Okay.
and there's other people on the internet who know more, who can be definitive.
Okay.
But a Jedi should be the person who's closely bound to the light side of the Force, who has some training in Jedi ways and lightsaber combat skills.
Oh, okay.
That's what a Jedi should be. And a Sith should be somebody who's closely connected to the dark side of the Force, who believes in Sith, not propaganda, but ideology, and has turned a kyber crystal, who bled a kyber crystal with their hatred. That's a Sith.
Okay.
That's the easiest way I could think of how to explain it, to make sure everybody knows, okay, when they say a Jedi, this is what they mean. There's a little bit of training. Because, again, outside of the Anakin, Ezra was trained by Kanan. Kanan wasn't really trained by anybody because he was a youngling when his master got killed in Order 66.
Yeah.
They're Jedi. Luke was halfway trained by Yoda. He's a Jedi. Ahsoka, halfway trained. She's a Jedi. Like,
She actually left.
yeah, she left. Rey, not this Rey.
I was gonna say, wait, I was trying.
Yeah, like,
No, you
whatever
started trouble with the Jedi.
Yeah, whatever you say, whatever you want to say about the sequel trilogy, technically Jedi.
Yeah. Oh.
So I mean, like, the last few haven't been fully fucking trained, and we still give them the moniker. So, but she herself says she's not a Jedi. So it's not like she's proclaiming it. Like, we're putting it on her.
Yeah,
Well,
it's more of a label instead of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, the Jedi changed who they were when they were in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
They were never police. They were just there to make sure that the balance was equal. And then they started becoming police at a military front.
Yeah, they were never police. Maybe they were never military, and then they became a militarized force.
Yeah, they were supposed to be there for checks and balances almost. Which
Yeah.
makes sense. It's that force of just okay. It's a good way to look at it, just of what they're supposed to be, and then what we label as Jedi here.
Yeah. All right, so you got anything else? Are we getting into like full review now of the show?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. Who wants to start here?
This is your I think your field cap. So
All right, I'll start it. So I gave an overall both episode rating an 8 out of 10. Like I said, something felt missing for me because I thought and again, I'm reading this because I actually wrote my thoughts down because I wanted to make sure I got them down before I started watching everybody else's reactions and shit.
gotcha.
Because I technically watched this show 3 times by watching it myself and watching other reactions to it.
Yeah, I actually did that too because I wanted to see, like, was there something I didn't catch? Because, like I said, to me, I feel like I need to see more because this didn't catch me yet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why.
So there's a dude who's the biggest Star Wars. That's all I'll say. But it's the biggest Star Wars channel on YouTube. He's hyped, and I'm trying to watch it, trying to latch onto what he's saying. Because so for me, like, I thought when the trailers came out that I was like, oh, this is gonna be Rebels season 5 in live action form. Like Toe said, it felt like the cartoon, and then we got a little bit of that. I guess it's not exactly what I was looking for. I thought I wanted it, but apparently I didn't really. There's little things in it. Sabine doesn't feel like herself. Because in Rebels, I like Sabine. Here, I was like, oh, we're doing this fucking trope again where nobody fucking listens. She's not going to listen to shit. She thinks she's too cool for school. And maybe it's because I'm an old guy now. But like, oh. So like one reaction was like, oh, she showed her rebellious nature. How she stood down the thing and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. Rebellious nature. Cool. Except the rebellion is no longer needed. You motherfuckers won. And in all actuality, yeah, she might not want to have been there because it's reminding her of Ezra and it's the whole day and blah, blah, blah. And she might think it's bullshit. And hey, I'm a military man. I know when a service is bullshit. I know when we're just doing pomp and circumstances. But I also know that somewhere in that crowd, this day means something to them. somebody's mother or father, brother, sister is alive today because of what they did. And they want to show general appreciation for it. And you fucking running away like that is a spit in the face to them. And again, Sabine's not a bad character. In Rebels, she was fucking awesome. It's just something feels off here. Ahsoka, something feels off about it because this is like, what do you call it? I feel like we watched Star Wars Rebels season 5, episode 4. Like we jumped in at episode 4 and we missed some shit. Whatever happened to them off screen when she trained and then left and then walked away, and like something happened that we weren't privy to. And I think that severely hindered my connection with this. And it all started with I'm sorry. This is the dumbest fucking decision ever made in any Star Wars show. And this is dumber than Rian Johnson's entire fucking Last Jedi movie. This whole fucking, sir, we have a ship coming in. Who are they? They have Jedi call signs. Well, that's stupid. The fucking Jedi doesn't exist. They gotta be fake. Let them on the fucking ship. What? If you knew with 100% certainty that this is a bullshit call, the fuck you let him on the ship for? Why'd you let him on the ship? You knew they were fake. It's not like you believed them. And then you caught a fucking vibe when he came out looking like Vader. Like that would have been, that moment took me completely out. Because I was like, this makes no sense. But with the reason I still gave it an 8 is because out of that bullshit thing, we got introduced to Balin and Satine Hattie, and that shit, what the result of it was fucking cool. Balin looked, Ray Stevens, rest in peace, man. He looked fucking menacing. He looked great. Satine looked fucking awesome. And we'll get into a little bit more that when we talk about it, but that shit took me out of the show. What do I call it? So the one thing I said was this show is like going over to a friend's house and the friend's mom was like, "Hey, I made brownies. Go help yourself." And you're like, "Oh shit, fuck yeah, I love her brownies." And you walk in and you see that they were made 2 days ago. And you're like, "Well, I still love the brownies. I'm still gonna eat it. They still taste good. But I thought it was gonna be a fresh batch." And it's not, she didn't just make them. That's how this show feels to me. It's like I came in expecting something to reinvigorate. And what I got was, okay, no, this is the Star Wars I'm used to. So instead of getting that kick in the ass, this felt like, oh, well, this is where we should have been.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that with episode 3 that premiered an hour or like 2 hours ago. Fucking now we do it on a Tuesday.
They saw what we're doing. They were like, nah, we're not giving you guys live reviews. Fuck that.
I'm hoping that we get, what do you call it? That we get to a spot where the prologue's done with.
Yeah.
And now we get to move on to the real shit. Now we get to see the new, what do you call it? Because now going specifically with episode 1, like I said, the Sabine thing I wasn't a fan of. The letting him on the ship, not a fucking fan of. But these new dark Jedi, or what do you want to call it, with orange lightsabers, Hattie has she has the Padawan braid. That's not something Sith do. So whatever Balin's doing, he's teaching her the ways of the Force, not the Sith side, which is fucking intriguing. Like the villain right there, an intriguing villain where you know they're bad, but some of the things they do, you're like, okay, I see where your side of this argument is. But they don't for 1 second believe that they're the heroes of the story. They're like, no, I know we're bad. We kill it. We try to do it nicely, but no, we'll take everybody's life if we have to.
The
That was
mercenaries.
fucking good. Yeah. The one thing, so this is the one thing I wanted to point out because I jumped on Eric Voss, as we know, for the little fucking. Well, I guess the Hulk shorts was part of the fucking thing. I was like, well, we can't be an adult and realize blah blah blah. This is my moment where, and I'm gonna explain. I think there's a difference here, but I'm adult enough to know that Qui-Gon Jinn had to die. Therefore, when you stab him with the lightsaber, it's a shock and he dies. He had to. I'm adult enough to know that other characters, whether you like them or not, and I'm not going to get into specific shit because I've seen other shows get into real specifics about why certain people shouldn't have survived, but we're not going to go there. But other people getting stabbed is like, why he died? Nobody else is fucking dying? Darth Maul got cut in fucking half. He's alive. This motherfucker's dying? And I'm adult enough to know two things. One, again, you can't kill every character. So certain characters are gonna have to be put in peril and survive. Although I think there's different ways they should have done it. Yeah. And I know that in life, swords used, if you get stabbed with a sword, you died back in the day. But not everybody. Certain people lived. You get shot with a gun today, you're probably gonna die. But 50 Cent got shot 9 times, walking around fine. So I know historically there is evidence for people getting what should have been fatal attacks living. But on the same time, the difference between having somebody's attire come up so you can easily identify them and just another person getting stabbed and nothing happening to them, it's like, come on. You set up a stab, and I've seen somebody try to explain this away, but Qui-Gon died. He got stabbed and died. You stop stabbing motherfuckers. There's other ways to put people in peril. I mean, she could have lost an arm. She could have got sliced in the leg. Like she was
Knocked
already
out.
losing the fight. She could have been knocked down, right? Satine was Hattie was about to go for the killing blow, and Ahsoka show up, use the Force to stop the lightsaber, and it's Hattie turn around going, shit, I'm not ready for that one yet, and fleeing with the fucking robot because we got everything. And then Sabine not getting stabbed with the lightsaber, but getting fucked up. Bring it to the hospital, put her in the back of the tank. Like, yo, you stay here. You already fucked up enough. You've done enough. Like, there's other things they could have done. And, yo, Qui-Gon is my favorite fucking Jedi. My favorite character. And, yeah, I understand it. But in this case, I'm going to be a little salty. Because I think it's unlike the necessity of trying to identify which power set they're using. Because if they would have just did a gray arm, who the fuck was that? Right? That's why the rings show up and blah, blah, blah. Unlike there was a myriad of things they could have done to get the same effect without having to go that route.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think that's what really messed it up, is just the choicing here of just like, is this really the way was there no other option to at least make it a little better? Like, I think that's what ruined it for you. It was just
it was those three things.
No.
Because so picture this. Like I just said, I gave my alternate for Sabine getting stabbed.
Yeah.
So now the whole thing where she left the fucking
Memorial.
the memorial, and ran down the highway and blah blah blah. Now, it would have been way better and way more impactful if the senator was given the speech, and before he said we have a special speaker, he looks back and like motions, like, is she here? And the dude's like, no. And he puts the other guy up front, hey, say a few words for whatever, whatever. Which, by the way, that dude who was put up front was training with Ezra when Ezra infiltrated the fucking stormtrooper shit. He was one of the kids that was with him that escaped with Ezra.
That's
So-
kind of dope.
Yeah. So he could have, put that dude up, turn around and be like, hey, go find her. And then she's sitting not in her house or in the tower. She's sitting somewhere else, reflecting on, what do you call it? On Ezra and on that day. And they turn around and be like, yo, we needed you over there. And she was like, you didn't need me there. This is, here's a whole bunch of reasons why I didn't show up. It could have endeared us back to her. It would have been, anybody would have saw where she was coming from, and it would have been good. What do you call it? Two things you could have done with the fucking captain. It's a ship. Yeah, what is it? It's Jedi call signs. Huh. Well, Ashoka brought us this fucking prisoner. So we know Jedi exists, or a Jedi exists. Okay. If it's truly a Jedi, bring him on board. Go from an angle of, oh, this must be somebody from that Ahsoka sent. And then when they get off the ship and you see the all black and shit, you're like, no, this is wrong. That's one way. Or another way is, don't make it a Jedi ship. Who is this? This is somebody that's supposed to be here. And then you get out and you see those two, and he's like, oh, we're Jedi from this place. We want to see the prisoner. Like, he does a Jedi mind trick to not the captain, but a dude in front. And the captain recognizes that and goes, no. Shit, that's wrong. So we still get them trying to do it peacefully, and then it turns into we got to kill everybody. Because again, I don't know about you, but if anybody on this planet ever turns around and goes, you know what? I know with 100% certainty, if I jump into the deep end of this pool, I'm going to drown. If you fucking jump in, I ain't saving you. Like, again, you're that fucking certain. I'm sorry, that took me out. I can't.
Yeah,
There's no recovering.
that was one of those where I'm like, I'm hoping because it was just the beginning, it grows from that. Because that was just one of those moments where,
Yeah, again, the show is good. It's just there's just something that I haven't caught on yet.
yeah,
And the other channels that I've seen where the excitement that this one dude has, I see it, but I think for the first time ever, I think he's overshooting. And I think he's in for a big disappointment when we finally get what everything is. And it's not the direction he thought we were going, or this whole thing is going.
yeah.
But those are my thoughts on episode 1.
Where you want to go?
You can go, bro. Because like I said, to me, it's I don't know. The first episode, I felt like I was like, okay. I saw it once. I saw it again today just to refresh, and it's like I didn't see anything. Like it didn't catch me with anything with it. So it's like, So, I don't know.
I hear you.
Yeah.
See, for me, the reason why I say it caught my eyes because the second time I watched it, I noticed something. And you know, my pie in the sky theory. It was the first time I watched it, was like, this seems weird. This doesn't seem like the two characters that we know. Because like you mentioned while we were watching, what was the Jedi's name that was teaching
Kanan.
Kanan? He was showing her how to fight with the lightsaber and her tools because she's a Mandalorian. He was showing her how to take advantage of that. So you would think that she would still have that style. Ahsoka Tano was still a kid, but was like full of energy and just she was different than every other Jedi that we saw. But this first episode and even the second episode, it's almost like they were different people. Maybe it was from losing Ezra and them trying to be Padawan and Master and all that other stuff, and they just it didn't work out because they weren't ready, like Ahsoka said. But right now, Ahsoka's different from when we saw her in The Mandalorian, different from when we saw her training or talking to Luke. She's like almost 100% Jedi. And I remember her saying she's not a Jedi. She makes it apparent she's not a Jedi because she left the Jedi Order once they turned their back on him. Once they turned their back on her. So what I'm thinking is this is going to be a show of us getting to see the real Ahsoka and this girl Sabine after episode 2. So I think episode 3 we're going to start seeing their true nature when they start trusting each other again. They start learning shit and all that. Then because right now I think they're trying so hard to not show their personalities.
Yeah.
Or to make them different so that way they can grow from episode 3 on.
Okay. So it was more of just the baseline of it. It was like
Yeah.
this is something to establish and then now get ready for the actual story and what we're gonna see.
If what you're saying is true, I think we have the first concrete proof of making something for people who haven't seen versus people who follow all the time. Because if that's the case, it's something like I already know who these people are.
Yeah.
But people who haven't seen Rebels and haven't seen Clone Wars, they need a baseline. And the one thing everybody knows, Dave Filoni specifically made Ahsoka annoying at the very beginning because he wanted you to see the character grow and he wanted you to grow with the character. So by the end of her journey, everybody was meshed together and we're like, yo, she's one of the best characters ever written.
Yeah.
And maybe he's doing that now again with Sabine and a little bit with Ahsoka just to get everybody on board. Like, oh, we start here and when we finish, you're like, oh no, these people are fucking great. But it's a little weird when you already know.
Yeah.
I think that's what threw me off a little bit too. It was like it's like we already seen that maturity almost. We've seen that evolution. Why are we going backwards? In a sense, it's like so everything else will continue, but it's like let's go back a little bit. How this is the
and also we never got to see Ahsoka with a Padawan before.
Yeah.
So she could have fucked that up. You know, she could have fucked up the training, expecting this girl to be more than what she was, or you know, because she didn't finish the training, she was harder on her, you know, or whatever. And it just like this girl just straight out lost her way once Ezra Miller fucking Ezra Miller. Once Ezra fucking passed, like she just wanted something to hold on to. And like she said, when she said, you're ready, you know when you're ready. And neither one of them were ready. And I think that's why Ahsoka was so calm with it. Huh?
Ezra Bridger.
Ezra Bridger. Ezra.
The amount of times
We're calling him this nigga.
Yeah. He just became drunk, instant drunkenness.
Yeah.
Instant
Ezra
Ezra
Miller.
intoxication.
Yo, but this motherfucker, it was one of those. See, now you made me fuck up. I think
We
that's why
made you fuck
Ahsoka.
up.
I think that's why Ahsoka is so peaceful, because she realized she wasn't ready to be a master, and this one wasn't ready to be an apprentice because of all they lost. But when they're ready, she felt it that they'll be okay.
Mm.
Here's a theory going off of what you just said. Is it possible or plausible that Ahsoka tried to train her as if she was Anakin, training her, and instead of training the way she would have done it?
She'll be.
Because if you notice with Grogu, she was like, "Yo, I can't train this motherfucker."
Mm-hmm.
Which, when I'm thinking of the reason she was so adamant that she couldn't train Grogu, is because she knew that when she failed with Sabine, because maybe she was trying to do it Anakin's way, and that's why
No.
she's like, "Nah, give him to Luke."
I think she was like, I can't train Grogu because I know for a fact Grogu's gonna pick the Mandalorian. I know for a fact Grogu will go down the path of Anakin. He's not gonna take this life and be selfish, selfless, and choose the Jedi Order over everything. He has a family. He's gonna choose his family, same way Anakin did. The problem is the only example with Anakin is he turned into Darth Vader. He's
Yeah.
probably on some. I'm not gonna make another Darth Vader. Where Luke was like, "Well, you have a choice. My father was Darth Vader, and he turned back into Anakin. So, what you want to do? You want to be a Jedi? Or you want to be in your family?" And Grogu was like, "Well, nigga, give me a plane and some fucking body armor, and we'll be in the family."
And he's muted.
His
And
mic
he's
isn't
muted.
even on.
My mic is on. You just didn't hear me.
Sure.
Yo,
Oh.
I'm here to talk about the Pharaoh or whatever the fuck that was in that show, Ashoka. That has to be Tutankhamun. What's that hat she's wearing?
That's got to be the fucking most Dominican shit ever. Asuka.
Ashoka. Yo,
I saw that TV show Atuka from the Star Floors.
Oh yeah, yo hice azúcar.
Yeah, yo Suzuka. Do you want to watch Asuka with me?
I honestly did not know how to pronounce it till she said what was it she said?
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka. I was like, oh shit. So this is the picture they've been talking about all this time. I couldn't even read it.
Oh man. At one point, show was like, also, this is what Krill's been talking about. Ayahuasca. Oh,
Good show, though. Good show. My bad. I'm sorry to interrupt.
all good. Bro.
Yeah, then finish your assessment of episode 1.
Yeah, and
I'm almost up to 3. My bad.
well, we didn't see 3 yet, so only talk about 1 and 2.
It just came out today.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, we're kind of busy.
Yeah,
It came out while we were doing this.
yeah, but also seeing the witch and other. I've always said it. There's so much lore in Star Wars. We do not need Skywalkers, and now we have this badass Jedi, who's for lack of a better term, who's a mercenary, going around fucking motherfuckers up with orange lightsabers. We are finally getting something different here. So that's what, like, I'm watching. I'm like, you know what? The attitude of Ahsoka, that can always change. It's a weird dynamic. Shit's going on, but we got the witch that made Darth Maul. When she didn't make it, but her people made Darth Maul.
Yeah.
The Night Sister.
We got another Jedi and an apprentice, not a Sith Lord, and we got orange lightsabers, and we got a badass apprentice too.
Yeah.
There's no one
fucking
like
great.
in Obi-Wan Kenobi. There were people trying to prove themselves, whether they were Jedi
Inquisitor.
or Inquisitors.
Yeah.
This one, everyone knows who the fuck they are. But the thing is, you going up against Ahsoka. It's like the only person to wound Darth Vader. Like let's get this shit straight.
Well, I mean, technically, Obi-Wan beat the fuck out of him, but
That
Yeah, but that don't count. That don't count. That
Who's
wasn't
better?
big shot.
Who's
Yeah,
better,
dude,
this lady or Boba Fett?
This lady.
Okay.
yeah,
Ahsoka is way better than Boba Fett. Especially the way that
I agree with you 100%. There are genuine things to get excited for, but I still feel that there's something's. It's not all the way there.
yeah.
it's not. It's not. But this is me hoping and praying. This is me giving it that chance that, come on, guys, let's get it. Let's get it going. I want y'all to win. I want y'all to win. And then when they prove to me that they're dying to lose, then I'll flip on them. Then I'll fucking She-Hulk it.
Yeah.
They haven't Boba Fett me yet. I know after the first episode, Boba Fett was like, what the fuck happened? Where did the action go?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's more action here.
It was like Godfather Fett.
No, it was more like fucking Despicable Me. I'm supposed to be the villain. Let me grab minions and fucking adopt kids, and now we save the day. That was my. I don't do voices. That's my best group.
Now you did pretty good. I was waiting for.
To be completely honest, I think I've only seen the first Despicable Me once, so I don't really know what the fuck he sounds like.
Hey, you got it right on the first try. Shit,
He sounds like Steve Carell.
basically.
Parkour.
Perfect. There it is.
Are we moving into episode 2?
Oh, well, Show, what's your take on episode 1?
Episode 1 only.
Episode 1 only was great because it not only kept me interested.
Why'd you say it like if the name was called episode 1 only?
My bad. you know
episode 1 only?
Episode 1 only.
Yeah, it kept you interested.
It kept me interested, and it actually explained the show pretty well because I'm not a Star Wars guy, so I got to know who she was, who her apprentice was that she never wanted, who her boss is around. The only person I didn't get to know who was the one that attacked everybody at the beginning. It was like, yo, you a Jedi? You're not a Jedi. He stabbed everybody. But
yeah. Nobody knows who he is.
Okay,
yeah, he's a new character.
I'm not the only one. But aside from that, everything is so far is good. I mean, I was waiting to get Boba Fett. Like I said, I was traumatized. I'm just waiting for the shit to go beep. But so far, so good. I'm very interested.
Darkness. This show, I guess.
So, I guess what is sure you're gonna name him Darth Saeed?
That's it from now on. It's Darth Saeed.
It's his Sith name.
Bro, I can't even say Ahsoka.
Asuka.
Hey.
Bring in the stuff.
Celia Cruz. Ahsoka.
All right, so episode 2.
Episode 2 for me was a little better. There's a little bit of weird things that I see people talk about and respond to, but I'm just gonna stick with the good things. It still felt like a little something was missing. So the fight between Merrick and Ahsoka, the fucking Inquisitor dude.
Yeah.
Like that fight should have been awesome. And it turns out, at least for me, it was good. The best part of it was after he threw the fucking thing where he called back his lightsaber with the Force, and she just moved out of the way.
Yeah, that was dope.
That one moment showed both characters being badass, more so than the fight, which is a little bit weird. That was my takeaway. It was like the fight should have been like, oh, this is whoever the fuck this dude is going toe to toe with Ahsoka. Like that should have been the story. But for some reason, it just felt like it didn't feel like, oh shit, he's standing toe to toe. It just felt like, okay, she's just fighting another fucking Force user.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gave it to you. I thought it was because we're again in those prolonged stages of it. I was like, this is just the start. Next fight, we'll get something bigger out of it.
Yeah.
But to me, at least, this gave it a little bit of a bump than episode 1, at least.
Yeah, no, but that was good. Again, the fucking what the fuck is the robot guy? I can't.
Chopper?
Huh? Oh,
Chopper?
Chopper was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Chopper was
yeah.
the best part.
Yeah.
The best part of this show so far. But the actual
The
the
lightsaber
robot
maker.
that's with the lightsaber maker. And dude, everybody has weird fucking names in this show. So
Ashoka.
fuck off.
Where the fuck is Taquan? No, he's supposed to know this shit.
Yo, what's the name of She-Hulk with the horns?
He's talking about the pilot.
Oh, Hera. Think Zendula? Hera Zendula?
Zendula.
Yeah,
They was
she
looking for her the whole fucking episode.
she was in the
Huyin.
whole episode.
Huyin. I think is the robot's name.
Yeah. Like
Huyang.
he was fucking great. I like him. Again, the fact that so there's everybody's saying that this is a new what do you call it, galaxy that we're going to. And I'm a little I have a little bit of trepidation because I don't know if it's to the extent that everybody's truly excited for. I'm gonna be in reserve for that. But a cool shot when Balin looks up and is talking about it, and you see the fucking whales in the cloud.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. There's definitely shit in here that's fucking great. It's just I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just something hasn't.
It's shaping out. It's shaping up to be great. I know what you're saying.
You know what it is? I think it's because if we go to wrestling terms, like what was it? Ric Flair winning the Royal Rumble in 1992 and becoming the WWE champion. That should have been a moment where it's like, yo, this motherfucker went from what, 3? He was number 3, won the Royal Rumble, won the fucking championship. On face value, that's a fucking awesome moment in WWE history.
Yeah.
But then when you look at it, it's like, well, this is the 18th time they gave this motherfucker the title. So it's one of those things where it's like, I probably had too high of an expectation.
Okay.
Where I'm like, yo, this has to save Star Wars. And then when it came in and it was, oh, this is Star Wars. It's like this went back to doing what the fuck it was supposed to be. We were supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, it's doing something where it's like it's giving you what it needs to, but you were hoping for it to go surpass what's already expected. It is
He didn't want Star Wars no more.
My man said this is supposed to be Mandalorian and not Star Wars.
Like Mandalorian season 2 was fucking great. Then Luke showed up and it was like, boom.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, okay, the Knicks have been trash for how many years? And now we're doing pretty good, and we're starting to make the playoffs more regularly, and we're starting to win a couple of playoff rounds. And it's like, cool. Where the fuck's the championship?
Yeah.
Like making the playoffs and winning a couple of playoff rounds. It's what we're supposed to be doing. It's awesome that it's finally happening because we've been trash.
But we need to win.
Yo, Ahsoka is Aaron Rodgers.
No, don't say that.
No. Think about this. Ahsoka's Aaron Rodgers. Ahsoka's supposed to make Star Wars great again. This is gonna be the show that turns Star Wars around. This is gonna be the show this is the person that's gonna make the Jets go to the Super Bowl, baby. And then when they play, they still the Jets.
Oh
You
no!
compared-
No.
We
See, I'm not
suck
saying
again.
that.
Star Wars to the Jets.
I'm not saying
Damn.
that. What I'm saying is
No, I compared
this is the level
Ahsoka to
that
Aaron
Star
Rodgers.
Wars was at. Right? Andor was up here. Everything else has been down here. I was expecting Ahsoka to push past. But what we got is Ahsoka went back to where we were. And it was like, I've been standing at this step and you just caught up. I thought we were climbing the stairs.
Yeah.
So I need a little more to, one of the things like you were mentioning, Sabine getting trained.
Yeah.
Right? The robot dude said she doesn't have the Force. And I've seen a couple of people screen crush that like Cabs likes to bring up. Oh, here's all the secret messages that Sabine has been Force sensitive this whole time. And I'm sitting there like, see, that is what I don't want. I don't want you to automatically make her Force sensitive. You could probably make it work. But General Grievous was on the other side wielding 4 fucking lightsabers, no Force whatsoever. Learned the ways of how to use lightsaber combat techniques and all that. Where's our fucking General Grievous? Let Sabine be our General Grievous. Let her be the one who doesn't have the Force, but knows lightsaber tactics and uses her Mandalorian shit to overcome.
Yeah.
That is fucking better than shoehorning in, well, she's Force sensitive like everybody else now.
Yeah. I think at that point, they're just trying to make excuses to be able to make it, oh, well, this is why, so just let it go.
But let's see what happens, because Dave Filoni has a better grasp on this whole Star Wars shit. He learned from George Lucas. I don't know if the torch was fully passed down to anyone, but if it was, it would be Dave. So I'm giving him a little more leeway than I would everybody else.
Well,
before I take up the whole hour, what do you guys think of?
Well, to me, I'm just gonna say this short. I'm excited for episode 3 because I've seen a lot of shows start off strong and then instantly get slow. If we're gonna start off slow with the potential to get the pace going, I would rather that slow build up than that fast decline. Because it seems like right now we're getting Ahsoka versus that apprentice. That's the build up.
I think we're getting it with the Inquisitor.
No, I see, but I mean like 3, 4.
Yeah,
Ahsoka versus the apprentice. And then we're gonna end it with her fighting that fucking Jedi. And General Grievous got to come somewhere. So there's got to be something to.
But I get what you're saying.
Not Grievous. Palpatine. What's this fucking guy's name?
Thrawn.
Kang. I'm gonna call him Kang.
Grand Admiral
Kang
Thrawn.
is making it
Krang.
into this too.
Yeah, fuck it, Krang.
He who is
Krang.
lost.
Yeah, fucking.
But it's understandable. Yeah, we got you.
The motherfucker that left.
Yeah.
The one that left.
Yeah.
He's got to come back, and there's got to be more, insider stuff that they got to go through. I think this one was straight out. Yo, you guys wanted to see the people from Rebels? Here goes the people from Rebels. Here goes a little bit of the backstory. Here goes some shit. Now let's go and do the rest of this movie, the rest of the show.
I think that's what it was. This was here's your introduction. Here's the backstory. Now we're about to go crazy. Get ready. Which is needed though. You need a baseline because if not, it's going to be exactly that. It's going to be like we're going to start like this, and then downhill. I like the slow build. So
Yeah.
if we get to a point where now, like I said, this first fight was just a little bit of a taste. If we're rating, I would say episode 1 to me was like a 5. This fight, at least, even though it was a taste, bumped it up to me to like a 7.5. That was like episode 2 was a little better just because we got something.
Yeah.
But now if we're able to build it a little more to a point where now we're seeing just how the relationship's going, where we're like, okay, here we go. This is where we see the attitude change. We see this.
Yeah.
I can see this being something where we're talking a few weeks in that we're like, you know what? Okay, now we're on to something.
Yeah. And also one of the things that led me to believe we're done, like they're different people and now we're gonna see them grow into the people we know is because when Huyin,
The robot.
the lightsaber maker
Yeah.
spoke to the Mandalorian, she said, look, she didn't even want me to be here. Irrelevant. Oh, but something that was in the past. Move forward. Like this robot had an answer for everything. Stop
I'm
bitching.
making excuses.
You wanna train with her? Then fucking ask her to train. You're the
not here
reason
for
why you're
her.
not training. It's
You're
not
here
her.
for me.
Ahsoka's not gonna sit here going, I'm not gonna train you. You're the reason why you stopped training. You're the reason why you're not a Jedi. You're the reason why you don't know how to use a lightsaber. You want to do it? Go do it. And that's one of those. Okay, we got past the pity party. She grew
Word.
up. She went back to her old shit, and Ahsoka's like, okay, now she's ready. Let's do this.
Yo,
Ahsoka looked like she was waiting for her to be like, yo, I'm ready.
yeah, what gives me a little bit of hope was at the end when she was like, all right, take it out, Padawan. And there was that little smirk that Ahsoka had. And Sabine was like, oh, Padawan, all right. That right there gave me a little spark where I was like, all right. That's why I kept, despite what I say about it, that's why I kept my rating at an 8 out of 10.
Gotcha.
And my rating didn't drop. Because
Okay.
I still think there's enough there that with slight tweaks, I would be over the fucking moon.
Okay.
And again, I'm a little trepidatious about where everybody outside of us, our podcast, is projecting this to go.
Hey,
It's
man.
like it's a Navy thing where it's like I can't get in the Navy. You learn quickly. You don't get excited for leave until after you come back. Because at any moment you think you have fucking the time off, but at any moment they can be like, nope, something happens, we gotta ship out, we gotta cancel your leave. So I'm not gonna be that excited until certain shit are revealed, and I'm like, okay, it was that good. Now I can fucking celebrate.
Word.
And one thing I wanted to bring up before we run out of time here, there was a thing about the acting. A lot of people were saying that the acting was bad, and I'm like, yo, there's something off about it. And one dude was like, oh, they acted perfectly. They're supposed to be sad. They're missing Ezra. Admiral Thrawn's coming back, and a whole bunch of shit's happening. So they're playing it with the melancholic nature that they should. And I'm like, no, I get that. But there's a difference between good melancholic acting and bland melancholic acting, because the scenes that I'll put forth, Anakin Skywalker freed his mom, or tried to free his mom. She died in the process. He killed everybody in that fucking was it the Tuscans? Yeah, I think the Tuscan Raiders.
Yeah.
And then he goes to tells Padme, it's like, I killed them all. I hate them. I killed every one of them. And his delivery, although it was explained by the dude I was watching that he tried to mimic the speech pattern of Vader, of like James Earl Jones. Like, first off, he missed.
Well,
Good.
no, I think watching all that stuff, I think the reason why he acted like that is because he was that little boy.
Yeah, but
He went back to being that little boy.
But here's where I'm making the distinction.
Yeah.
Not the choices he made. His actual ability to convey the emotion. If you watch that scene, he's okay. Padme is really like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. She's laughable in that fucking scene. But then you go to Gravik, and when he's talking to Fury,
Yeah.
that's also a fucking melancholic performance. That's also a fuck. He's got nothing to be happy about. He's losing his people. They never got a planet. He's got the guy who turned him into a killer sitting right in front of him. He doesn't remember why. He doesn't know why he's wearing this face. And he was able to convey such emotion that by the end of it, you're like, holy shit. I felt something.
Yeah, you're able to add dimensions even in a singular state. There's still elements to it. There's still something that's like you're building off that right there.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, yeah, they're supposed to act blasé because they're not in a fucking good place. But you could still add some sort of depth.
Yeah.
To it.
You could still make it matter in a sense.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this is not prequel bad. Like, I'm not comparing Ahsoka to that scene in episode 2. Or the scene with sand. I hate sand. It's coarse. I'm not comparing the two. I'm just saying that Ahsoka said it herself. Just because you did the right thing doesn't mean you avoid bad consequences. Just because they're acting the way the character's supposed to be acting doesn't mean
it's a good acting.
That, yeah, and it's not necessarily bad. It's just, I think that's the one thing that I don't get from the prequels that I get from the original trilogy is the depth in the acting. It's why I think if you look at all the prequels, Qui-Gon, even in his limited run in the first movie, is still my fucking favorite because he just felt more actualized.
He knew what the role was.
Yeah.
He knew the nuance of his character.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
And
before we go ahead.
There's a perfect scene where they compared Anakin was like, yes, master. And then you hear James Earl Jones say, yes, master, in the Vader shit. And it's just like, yo, James Earl Jones and Hayden Christensen, two different acting types, James Earl Jones was able to find something more than what was just required of him.
The thing was, he was too busy trying to be James Earl Jones instead of for distinguishing the difference between Anakin and Darth Vader.
And I will say this: if you watch the Obi-Wan show, which I don't think you have to be honest, parts of it were fucking great.
Yeah, yeah.
If you go back and this is why I say I think it's a miss. Watch Hayden Christensen in Obi-Wan. That scene where him and Obi-Wan are sparring back on Coruscant.
Yeah.
That shit. That is acting. That hooked. That had all the fucking gravitas. That had depth in it. That wasn't wooden or fucking, it didn't fall flat or anything. That was good.
That didn't feel phoned in. That was just...
All right, so before we go, Ray, you want to get your opinion on episode 2? I don't know if
I kind of just mixed it in there. To me, that fight gave me potential. That gave me something. To me, I feel like that's at least, if this is the start of it, even though for what it was, I feel like at least we have something to build off there. To me, that episode gave me at least a little something of where we're going to see these characters go, where we're going to see this story go. And again, I want to give it promise because I like seeing Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka here.
Yeah.
I see where she's going with it could work. So,
all right,
we'll see.
Yeah, show. You got anything for episode 2?
Yeah, I'm excited because I like y'all. These are like my first actual Star Wars that I'm watching. So I'm watching like a kid. I'm unbiased. I don't know Asuka needs to be stronger. I just watch and enjoy. So I'm good. I'm liking it so far. I'm tripping that y'all saying negative things. That's why I like that I'm unbiased. Because this show started a lot better than WandaVision. And yeah, you guys rave about WandaVision.
Yeah,
And I
sure. I agree with you.
go ahead,
No, again, it's not that the show's bad. It's we're back to where we should have been.
Yeah.
now you wanted to take them somewhere else. Star Wars,
Yeah.
take this man somewhere else, please.
Show you missed this because we were so positive at the beginning. We got to say something negative now.
Yeah.
We got to be balanced on this show.
Listen, the thing was, if you sit there and you watch when they did the Star Wars thing and the panel when they were talking about Ahsoka, when they mentioned that they were making an Ahsoka series, and she came out and she was talking about how she was talking to the girl who played Ahsoka in the thing, and they like she feels like she knows Ahsoka in and out. She watched Rebels and she's a huge fan and yada yada yada. It's like, okay, we know the cast and everybody here is on board. This is supposed to be the perfect storm of. This is Henry Cavill as The Witcher season 1. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're expecting here, and that's why I'm like, all right, let's keep the magic going. The thing with WandaVision is like we didn't have expectations. We knew what was happening. So for them to do something a little different, it was like our imagination running wild. Did she do this? Did she not do this? Because we're asking questions like we know what's going on. We already know. But they threw us that curveball. That's when we started asking questions. And then after everything, all the dust settled and we saw what was happening, that's why you liked it afterwards. Where in the beginning we were so like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe someone got her under control. Maybe someone's doing this to her. You know what I'm saying? Like Ahsoka, this isn't really the Ahsoka we know, but let's hope they get us there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the biggest thing is like Chopper, which was the R2D2 looking robot that was in the plane for the show. In the cartoon, he's a sassy motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like you can almost understand him.
I always say that if they were to truly make him a live action, they'd have to cast like a black woman to play him.
Yeah, word. He's a sassy motherfucker. So it was good to see
Funny thing, he was sassy.
That's what I'm saying. They hit him on the nose. Yeah, they hit him on the nose.
I thought he was complaining.
No. So that gives me promise. So it's like, all right, maybe they're trying to tone back these characters a little bit to show us something else. Maybe it was that. It was like, yo, let's tone them down a little bit to show them something else. Because a lot of it, to me, the most important thing was the witch, the new Jedi, the apprentice, and they're looking for Thrawn.
Yeah.
You know, like it's almost like Ezra's always in the background. Like if we get to Ezra, perfect, but we need Thrawn. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I got the hope. I'm hoping episode 3 is better or is starting to build up to something else. Because, you know, we need it. We need these shows to be back to where they were.
No, it needs to be better than where they were.
It's true. But I'm talking about like Mandalorian 1 episode,
okay.
Season 1.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Boba Fett. I'm not talking about She-Hulk. I'm
What
not
you
talking
mean? You
about
didn't like the 0.5 of Mando in there?
Yo,
That's what saying Boba Fett to me.
Yo, Grogu was the best part of
show.
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 2.5.
That's what saying Boba Fett was to me. Was that like just
Yeah.
throw Pedro Pascal in anything that works. It saves. It works.
I have a question before we go. What's the timeline of this? Is this during Mando? Is it before? When is this? Cap's frozen?
I think he's frozen. Yeah.
Yeah, either that or he's staring at you, show.
He's waiting for one of us to answer.
Word. I got the answer.
What is the show? You got the answer?
Nah, you bugging. I don't even know how to spell Star Wars.
Well,
On that
note, we'll figure that out next week.
no.
But it's your friendly neighborhood knucklehead signing out. Everybody that's listening, that's your homework. Figure out what timeline this Ahsoka shit is at, and then we'll be there.